Respect. It's something we all crave, yet it often feels like an elusive force beyond our control. You walk into a room, and within moments, you know who commands attention and who blends into the background. It's not just about charisma, wealth, or status. It's something deeper, something intrinsic. Respect is earned, not demanded. And here's the kicker. Earning it doesn't require a loud voice, a flashy presence, or a perfect life. This is where the wisdom of Stoicism holds the key. It's not just a philosophy for ancient times. It's a guide for navigating life with strength, self-assurance, and unshakable integrity. People respect those who know themselves, who remain steady when others falter, and who act with purpose. It's not about dominating others, but about mastering yourself. Let's explore what it truly means to earn respect, not through gimmicks or shortcuts, but by embodying principles that inspire trust and admiration. And to understand this journey, let's start with a story that captures the essence of respect in action. Picture a crowded office during a high-pressure workday. Phones ring incessantly, keyboards clatter like a chaotic symphony, and the tension in the air is thick enough to cut with a knife. In one corner of the office sits a man named Daniel. He's not the loudest person in the room, nor does he boast about his accomplishments. He doesn't carry the biggest title, yet something about him stands out. When a crisis hits, an angry client, a missed deadline, or a sudden system failure, Daniel doesn't panic. While others scramble and shout, he listens carefully, processes the situation, and speaks with clarity. "Here's what we'll do," he says calmly, laying out a plan that cuts through the chaos. His tone is steady, his words purposeful. Everyone in the room listens. Daniel's co-workers often wonder how he remains so composed. "Doesn't he feel stressed like the rest of us?" they whisper. But the truth is, Daniel feels every bit of the pressure. The difference lies in how he responds. He's mastered the art of self-control, a cornerstone of respect. One day, a junior colleague, Mark, approaches him during lunch. "Daniel, how do you do it? Everyone respects you, and you never lose your cool. What's your secret?" Daniel smiles, not with arrogance, but with quiet confidence. "It's not a secret," he says. "It's about staying true to what matters. Respect starts with how you treat yourself and how you handle what life throws your way." Mark presses further. "But don't you ever want to snap back at people when they're rude, or blame others when things go wrong?" Daniel pauses before answering. "Of course I do. I'm human. But here's what I've learned. Reacting emotionally only takes power away from you. Staying calm isn't about pretending everything is fine. It's about showing that you're bigger than the situation. Respect comes when people see that you're in control of yourself, no matter what." Daniel wasn't always like this. Years ago, he was the one who overreacted, spoke out of turn, and let his emotions dictate his actions. But then came the turning point. It happened during a team meeting where Daniel had poured his heart into a project, only to have it criticized harshly by a senior manager. The feedback stung like a slap across the face. His instinct was to defend himself, to argue, to shift the blame. But something stopped him, a thought as clear as sunlight breaking through storm clouds. "This isn't about them," he realized. "It's about how I choose to respond." Instead of lashing out, Daniel took a deep breath. He nodded, asked clarifying questions, and thanked the manager for their input. Inside, his emotions churned, but outwardly he was composed. To his surprise, the manager softened, offering constructive suggestions instead of cutting remarks. The room's atmosphere shifted. That day, Daniel understood something profound. Respect isn't about being perfect. It's about how you handle imperfections, your own and those around you. When Daniel talks about respect, he always starts with self-respect. If you don't respect yourself, he says, why would anyone else? It's not about being arrogant or self-centered. True self-respect is rooted in how you treat your time, energy, and principles. Daniel learned to set boundaries, not by shouting or being aggressive, but by being firm and clear about his limits. He stopped saying yes to every demand, recognizing that overextending himself didn't make him more respected. It made him less effective. People began to notice. They respected Daniel not because he tried to please everyone, but because he honored his own values. They saw him as someone who could be counted on, not because he was perfect, but because he was reliable and consistent. Mark, the junior colleague, decided to put Daniel's advice into practice. He started small, pausing before reacting, choosing his words more carefully, and focusing on what he could control. It wasn't easy at first. There were moments when his frustration bubbled to the surface, but each time he reminded himself of Daniel's calm presence. One afternoon, Mark faced his own test. A client called, furious about a delay. The old Mark would have stumbled over apologies, made excuses, or passed the blame. But this time, he did something different. He listened. He acknowledged the client's frustration without getting defensive. And then, in a steady voice, he outlined the steps his team was taking to resolve the issue. When the call ended, Mark's manager approached him. "That was impressive," she said. "You handled that with grace." Mark felt a surge of pride, not because he had won the client over, but because he had earned respect by staying composed under pressure. Daniel's story is a reminder of something timeless. Respect isn't about dominance or perfection. It's about how you show up in the world, calm, composed, and grounded in your values. It's about leading with integrity, even when no one is watching, and staying steady when life's storms rage around you. And here's the beauty of it. Anyone can cultivate this kind of respect. It doesn't require wealth, status, or extraordinary talent. It begins with small, intentional actions, choosing your response over your reaction, honoring your own boundaries, and living in alignment with your principles. Respect isn't given freely. It's earned through how you carry yourself day in and day out. Whether in the workplace, at home, or among friends, the principles that earn respect are universal. They transcend culture, age, and circumstance. Daniel's journey and Mark's transformation show that respect isn't a gift. It's a consequence of mastering yourself. And as Stoicism teaches us, this mastery is within everyone's reach. Are you ready to step into the version of yourself that commands respect, not through words, but through actions? The journey begins here. Let's dive deeper into the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and unlock the principles that can make respect a natural part of who you are. The path to commanding respect starts not with what you say, but with the energy you project. People are instinctively drawn to those who exude calmness and control. In a world filled with noise, where everyone fights to be heard, there is an undeniable power in silence. It's not an emptiness, it's a presence, a silent assurance that speaks louder than any words. This is the art of commanding respect without saying a word, and it begins with mastering the tools of silence and composure. In moments of tension, those who remain silent are often the ones others look to for guidance. Their stillness is not a sign of submission, but a declaration of confidence. Silence carries weight because it implies restraint, a choice to listen rather than react. It demonstrates self-control, a quality that others find both admirable and rare. In that stillness, there is space to observe, to understand, and to act deliberately. When you don't rush to fill the air with words, your presence alone becomes magnetic. Silence also cultivates clarity. By stepping back instead of speaking impulsively, you gain the ability to see situations more clearly. When others are quick to argue or defend, the person who pauses to reflect commands the room. This doesn't mean you remain passive or indifferent. It means you choose your moments wisely. When you do speak, your words carry impact because they emerge from thoughtfulness, not reaction. People listen because they know you don't waste words. Composure is the foundation upon which silence stands. Without it, silence can feel awkward or uneasy. Composure, however, transforms silence into a statement of strength. It is the ability to remain calm under pressure, unshaken by external chaos. This steadiness creates an aura of authority that others respect instinctively. People trust those who seem unbothered by the storm, as if their calmness can steady the world around them. The ability to stay composed is not a natural gift, but a skill developed over time. It requires self-awareness, recognizing your triggers, and learning to control your impulses. Emotional detachment is a powerful tool here. It doesn't mean you don't feel emotions, it means you don't let them control you. By stepping back from emotional reactions, you maintain your power. Others notice this restraint and admire it, even if they can't articulate why. Silence and composure also create space for listening, a skill that is deeply undervalued in today's world. When you listen attentively, people feel seen and understood. It's a rare gift in a society that thrives on interruptions and self-centered conversations. Listening shows respect, and respect, when given, is often reciprocated. More than that, it allows you to gather valuable information, to understand others' motivations and perspectives. This understanding gives you an edge in every interaction, whether it's in personal relationships, professional environments, or casual encounters. In conflicts, silence can be a disarming strategy. When faced with aggression or provocation, responding with calm silence diffuses tension. It signals that you are in control of yourself and the situation. This doesn't mean avoiding confrontation. It means approaching it with a clear mind. A composed silence in the face of hostility communicates that you won't be pulled into unnecessary drama. It forces the other person to confront their own behavior and often de-escalates the situation. Composure, paired with silence, also enhances non-verbal communication. Your posture, facial expressions, and movements speak volumes in the absence of words. Standing tall, maintaining steady eye contact, and keeping relaxed gestures project confidence and authority. These physical cues reinforce the silent strength you embody. People notice when you move with purpose, when your actions align with your calm demeanor. It creates a cohesive presence that commands attention and respect. Developing this level of silence and composure requires consistent practice. It begins with small, everyday moments, choosing to pause before responding to an irritating comment or remaining calm when plans go awry. Over time, these practices build a habit of self-control that becomes second nature. It's not about suppressing your emotions, but about channeling them constructively. Instead of reacting impulsively, you respond with intention. This approach also ties closely to the Stoic principle of focusing on what is within your control. You cannot control how others behave, but you can control your response. When you choose silence over argument, composure over agitation, you maintain your power. This sense of control is deeply attractive to others, who often feel unmoored in their own emotional storms. Your steadiness becomes a lighthouse guiding them through turbulent waters. Silence also allows for strategic thinking. While others are busy defending themselves or proving a point, you have the opportunity to observe and plan. This doesn't mean manipulating situations, but rather understanding them deeply enough to act wisely. People respect those who seem to always know the right thing to do, and that wisdom often comes from the patience cultivated in silence. A key aspect of commanding respect through silence is knowing when to break it. Silence is powerful, but it must be balanced with action and words at the right time. Speaking sparingly does not mean speaking rarely. It means speaking when your words will have the most impact. Timing is everything. When you choose your moments carefully, people are more likely to listen and value what you say. In relationships, both personal and professional, silence and composure foster trust. People trust those who don't react impulsively, who can hold space for complex emotions without losing their balance. They feel safe around you, knowing you won't escalate conflicts unnecessarily or lash out unpredictably. This trust is the cornerstone of respect. The practice of silence and composure also aligns with humility. True authority doesn't need to announce itself loudly. It speaks through actions and presence. Humility is not about thinking less of yourself, but about thinking beyond yourself. It's about understanding that your silence can create room for others to express themselves, and in doing so, you earn their admiration. People respect those who give them space to be heard. There is also an undeniable connection between silence, composure, and self-respect. When you respect yourself enough to stay composed and choose silence over chaos, others take notice. It's a quiet declaration of your worth, a statement that you value your energy and won't waste it on unproductive conflicts or meaningless chatter. This self-respect is contagious. It inspires others to treat you with the same regard. The power of silence and composure extends beyond immediate interactions. It shapes how people perceive you over time. In a world where most people reveal their thoughts and feelings without restraint, those who hold back are seen as more intriguing, more thoughtful, and more dependable. Your silence becomes a symbol of depth, and your composure a testament to your strength. Mastering silence and composure also teaches you patience. Respect is rarely earned overnight. It is built moment by moment, interaction by interaction. Patience allows you to endure setbacks without losing your balance, to wait for the right opportunities to act. This patience, coupled with the quiet confidence of composure, makes you unshakable. When you embrace silence as a tool for respect, you also begin to see the value of simplicity. You realize that not every situation requires your input. Not every challenge needs an immediate solution. Simplicity in thought and action brings clarity, and clarity inspires confidence in those around you. People respect those who cut through the noise and focus on what truly matters. This journey of mastering silence and composure is not about perfection. There will be moments when you falter, when emotions get the better of you. The key is to recognize those moments, learn from them, and return to the practice. Over time, you will notice a shift, not just in how others see you, but in how you see yourself. You will feel a deeper sense of control, a quiet confidence that radiates outward. The transformation is subtle, yet profound. People will start to gravitate toward you, drawn by the calm strength you embody. They may not be able to articulate why, but they will sense it. Respect, after all, is not demanded. It's earned through presence, through the silent power of being in control of yourself. And when you master that, you don't need words to command respect. You simply are. When silence and composure become second nature, they naturally lead to a deeper question. Why do others respond to that calm authority? The answer lies in something even more foundational: self-respect. How you see yourself shapes how others see you. Self-respect is not a luxury or an optional virtue. It is the bedrock upon which all other respect is built. Without it, commanding respect from others becomes impossible. To understand self-respect, you must start with the choices you make every day. These choices reflect how much you value yourself, from the boundaries you set to the way you treat your own time and energy. People take cues from how you carry yourself. If you hold yourself with dignity and treat yourself with care, others are far more likely to do the same. Respect begins internally. It starts with honoring your own needs, values, and principles. When you prioritize what truly matters to you, you send a clear signal to the world that you won't compromise on your integrity. This doesn't mean being rigid or unyielding. It means knowing where you stand and refusing to betray yourself to please others. The strength to say no when it matters is one of the clearest signs of self-respect, and it commands respect from those around you. Your habits and routines also reflect your self-respect. When you take care of your body, mind, and spirit, you're making a statement. I am worth the effort. Whether it's maintaining a healthy diet, staying physically active, or committing to lifelong learning, these practices show that you value yourself enough to invest in your well-being. People respect those who respect themselves because it's a rare quality in a world that often rewards self-neglect for the sake of external validation. How you handle failure and criticism is another powerful indicator of self-respect. Everyone faces setbacks, but not everyone treats themselves with kindness in those moments. Self-respect means recognizing your worth even when things go wrong. It's about learning from mistakes without tearing yourself down. This resilience inspires others because it shows that your confidence isn't fragile or dependent on perfection. It comes from a deeper place, a place of knowing your value, regardless of external circumstances. Setting boundaries is one of the most challenging yet essential aspects of self-respect. Boundaries are not about keeping others out, but about protecting what's most important to you. They're a way of saying, I respect myself enough to prioritize my needs and values. When you enforce boundaries consistently and respectfully, you teach others how to treat you. It's not about creating conflict. It's about creating clarity. People may not always like your boundaries, but they will respect them, and by extension, respect you. Self-respect also influences the way you communicate. When you speak with confidence and clarity, it reflects an inner sense of worth. You don't need to dominate conversations or seek approval because your self-respect provides a quiet assurance. This makes your words more impactful as they come from a place of authenticity. People are drawn to those who speak with conviction because it signals that they know their own minds. Another crucial aspect of self-respect is the ability to forgive yourself. Holding on to guilt or regret undermines your sense of worth. Self-respect means accepting that you're human, capable of both mistakes and growth. It's about owning your actions without letting them define you. When you treat yourself with compassion, you model this behavior for others, showing them that respect begins with grace. Self-respect doesn't require external validation. It thrives independently of what others think or say. When you rely on external sources for your sense of worth, you give away your power. True self-respect comes from living in alignment with your values, regardless of external opinions. This independence is magnetic. People respect those who don't chase approval because it shows strength and self-reliance. The way you handle relationships also reveals the depth of your self-respect. Whether it's a friendship, romantic partnership, or professional connection, self-respect means refusing to accept less than you deserve. It's not about being demanding or entitled. It's about valuing yourself enough to expect mutual respect and effort. When you hold yourself to this standard, others rise to meet it, or they fall away. Either way, you maintain your dignity. Self-respect requires consistency. It's not something you can switch on and off based on convenience. The small, everyday actions, how you speak to yourself, the choices you make, the way you handle challenges, these are what build the foundation of respect. Over time, these habits become part of who you are, creating a steady sense of self-worth that others can't help but notice. One of the most powerful aspects of self-respect is that it's deeply personal. It doesn't look the same for everyone because it's rooted in your unique values and priorities. For some, it might mean pursuing a creative passion despite societal pressure to choose a safer path. For others, it might mean walking away from a toxic environment, even when it's difficult. Whatever form it takes, self-respect is about honoring what feels right for you, not what others expect. There's a subtle but undeniable connection between self-respect and humility. True self-respect is not about thinking you're better than others. It's about recognizing your worth without diminishing anyone else's. This balance is what makes self-respect so compelling. It inspires others without alienating them. People respect those who hold themselves with quiet confidence, free from arrogance or pretense. When self-respect becomes a natural part of who you are, it changes the way you interact with the world. You no longer seek validation because you know your worth. You don't tolerate disrespect because you've set clear standards. You don't compromise your values because they're the foundation of your strength. This unwavering sense of self creates a ripple effect, influencing how others perceive and treat you. Building self-respect is a lifelong journey, not a one-time achievement. It requires introspection, effort, and a willingness to grow. It means holding yourself accountable without being overly critical, striving for excellence without chasing perfection. As you cultivate self-respect, you'll find that it not only transforms how you see yourself, but also how others see you. Self-respect is the foundation upon which all respect is built. It's the starting point for every meaningful connection, every act of leadership, and every moment of influence. When you respect yourself, you create a standard for how others will treat you. And when you live by that standard, respect becomes a natural and inevitable response from those around you. This is why self-respect is not just important, it's essential. It's the key to unlocking the respect of others, not through demands or expectations, but through the undeniable power of treating yourself with dignity. When you respect yourself, the world takes notice. And from that foundation, you can build a life filled with meaningful relationships, authentic connections, and unwavering confidence. When self-respect is firmly rooted, it gives rise to a profound strength, the ability to remain unshaken in the face of tension. There's something deeply compelling about those who can navigate storms without losing their footing, who meet pressure with calm resolve instead of panicked reactions. This is the art of non-reaction, a skill that not only preserves your peace, but also earns the respect of everyone around you. In moments of intensity, when emotions run high and stakes feel overwhelming, those who master non-reaction stand out as pillars of grace and control. Non-reaction doesn't mean indifference or apathy. It's the ability to pause, assess, and respond with intention instead of reflex. It's about choosing your reaction rather than letting the situation dictate your behavior. This level of control requires practice and awareness, but its impact is immediate. People respect those who don't crumble under pressure because it signals strength and reliability. In tense situations, emotions can easily spiral out of control, leading to arguments, rash decisions, and unnecessary conflict. Non-reaction is the antidote to this chaos. By choosing not to react impulsively, you diffuse the tension, creating space for clarity and resolution. This doesn't mean you suppress your feelings. It means you acknowledge them without letting them take over. When you remain calm, you set the tone for others to follow. Your composure becomes an anchor for those who feel adrift in the storm. One of the keys to mastering non-reaction is understanding the power of pause. A brief moment of stillness before you respond can make all the difference. It allows you to process what's happening, consider your options, and choose a course of action that aligns with your values. This pause is not a sign of weakness. It's a demonstration of strength. It shows that you are in control of yourself, even when circumstances try to dictate otherwise. Non-reaction also involves separating yourself from the immediate emotion of the moment. This doesn't mean ignoring how you feel. It means observing your emotions without letting them drive your actions. When someone criticizes you unfairly or provokes you intentionally, your initial instinct might be to defend yourself or retaliate. But by practicing non-reaction, you shift from a reactive mindset to a reflective one. You ask yourself, does this situation truly deserve my energy? What response will serve me best in the long run? Another aspect of non-reaction is resisting the urge to escalate. In many situations, conflicts spiral because both parties feed into the tension. When one person reacts aggressively, the other often mirrors that energy, creating a cycle of hostility. Breaking this cycle requires the discipline to remain calm, even when provoked. This doesn't mean allowing others to mistreat you. It means choosing not to match their aggression. Your restraint sends a powerful message. You won't be dragged into negativity. In high-stakes environments, whether at work or in personal relationships, non-reaction is a tool for earning trust. People gravitate toward those who remain steady under pressure because it creates a sense of safety. They know that no matter how intense the situation becomes, you won't lose your temper or make reckless decisions. This steadiness is a cornerstone of leadership, and it's why non-reaction is such a valuable skill. The practice of non-reaction also extends to your internal dialogue. When faced with challenges, your mind might race with doubts, fears, or frustrations. Learning to quiet this inner noise is just as important as staying composed outwardly. Techniques like mindfulness and deep breathing can help you center yourself, even in the midst of chaos. By grounding yourself internally, you create a foundation of calm that supports your external behavior. Non-reaction doesn't mean passivity. It's about taking control of your energy and focusing it where it matters most. When you respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively, your actions become more effective. You're able to address the root of the issue rather than getting caught up in surface-level drama. This approach not only resolves conflicts more efficiently, but also earns you the respect of those involved. Another benefit of non-reaction is that it protects your credibility. When you react emotionally, especially in professional settings, it can undermine your authority and make you appear less dependable. On the other hand, staying composed under pressure reinforces your image as someone who can handle difficult situations with grace. This reputation for steadiness is invaluable, particularly in environments where tensions run high. Non-reaction is also a tool for preserving relationships. In moments of conflict, it's easy to say things you don't mean or escalate the situation unnecessarily. Practicing non-reaction allows you to approach disagreements with empathy and understanding. By choosing your words carefully and responding with calmness, you create space for productive dialogue. This doesn't mean avoiding difficult conversations. It means handling them with care and respect. In addition to its practical benefits, non-reaction has a profound impact on your mental and emotional well-being. Reacting impulsively often leads to regret, as you may say or do things in the heat of the moment that don't align with your true intentions. Non-reaction eliminates this regret by giving you the time and space to act in alignment with your values. It's a way of protecting your peace, even in the midst of turmoil. Developing the art of non-reaction requires practice, but it's a skill that anyone can cultivate. Start with small situations. When someone cuts you off in traffic or makes a rude comment, resist the urge to react. Use these moments as opportunities to build your self-control. Over time, this practice will strengthen your ability to remain composed in more significant challenges. Non-reaction is not about suppressing your emotions or pretending everything is fine. It's about acknowledging your feelings and choosing how to respond. This choice is where your power lies. When you react impulsively, you give control to the situation. When you respond thoughtfully, you reclaim that control. This sense of empowerment is deeply rewarding and inspires others to respect and admire you. Mastering non-reaction also requires a shift in perspective. Instead of seeing conflicts as threats, view them as opportunities to practice your composure. Each tense situation becomes a chance to refine your skills, to prove to yourself and others that you can remain steady no matter what. This mindset transforms challenges into stepping stones for growth. In the long run, non-reaction shapes not only how others perceive you, but also how you perceive yourself. It reinforces your sense of self-respect because it demonstrates that you value your peace and integrity above fleeting emotions. It shows that you have the discipline to act with intention, even in difficult circumstances. This inner strength radiates outward, earning you admiration and respect. When you embody the art of non-reaction, you become a source of stability in a chaotic world. People are drawn to your calm energy, your ability to navigate tension without losing your balance. They respect you, not because you dominate the room, but because you command yourself. This quiet strength speaks volumes, proving that true authority comes not from what you say, but from how you carry yourself. When the art of non-reaction becomes a natural part of your character, it clears the path for another vital skill, setting boundaries with grace and authority. Boundaries are the invisible lines that protect your time, energy, and values. They are not about building walls, but creating a clear framework for how you want to be treated. For many, the idea of setting boundaries feels like an invitation for conflict, but true strength lies in doing so without aggression or confrontation. Boundaries, when set like a Stoic, are rooted in respect, both for yourself and for others. Boundaries are not declarations of what others must do. They are commitments to what you will and will not allow in your life. This distinction is critical because it shifts the focus inward, removing the need for external control. When boundaries are approached with this mindset, they become an act of self-respect rather than a demand for compliance. This subtle but powerful approach earns the regard of those around you because it demonstrates clarity, consistency, and self-assurance. The first step to setting boundaries without confrontation is understanding your own values and priorities. When you know what matters most to you, it becomes easier to identify what behaviors, situations, or dynamics are unacceptable. This clarity eliminates hesitation and makes your boundaries feel natural rather than forced. People respect boundaries that come from a place of authenticity because they can sense that these limits are not arbitrary, but deeply rooted in who you are. Non-verbal communication plays a crucial role in setting boundaries. Your tone, body language, and demeanor can either reinforce or undermine your message. A calm and composed delivery signals confidence and removes the possibility of escalation. When you express a boundary with steady eye contact, a neutral tone, and open body language, it conveys that you are serious but not confrontational. This approach often disarms potential resistance because it doesn't invite conflict. Respectfully setting boundaries also involves choosing your words carefully. Statements that focus on your needs rather than accusing others tend to be received more positively. For example, saying, "I need time to focus on this project," is more effective than saying, "You're distracting me." The former invites understanding, while the latter risks defensiveness. This subtle shift in language keeps the conversation centered on your perspective rather than triggering opposition. Another key aspect of boundary setting is consistency. Boundaries lose their effectiveness if they are not enforced regularly. If you allow exceptions too often, others may start to test or disregard them. Consistency doesn't mean rigidity. It means honoring your boundaries as a reflection of your values. When others see that you stand by your limits, they are more likely to respect them without questioning. Understanding the difference between flexibility and compromise is essential. Flexibility allows you to adapt to changing circumstances without compromising your core values. Compromise, however, often involves sacrificing something important to maintain harmony. A Stoic approach to boundaries finds balance by being adaptable while remaining true to your principles. This balance allows you to maintain your integrity while navigating complex relationships. Silence can also be a powerful tool in boundary setting. Sometimes the best way to assert a boundary is not through words, but through actions. If someone consistently interrupts your focus, choosing to step away from the interaction rather than engaging in an argument sends a clear message. Silence, paired with a deliberate action, can communicate your boundary more effectively than a heated exchange. One of the challenges in setting boundaries is the fear of how others will react. It's natural to worry about upsetting people or being misunderstood. However, when you approach boundaries with respect and clarity, you minimize the risk of confrontation. Most people appreciate knowing where they stand, even if they don't agree with your limits. Clear communication reduces ambiguity and fosters mutual respect. Boundaries are also a form of self-protection. They shield you from behaviors or situations that drain your energy or compromise your well-being. By setting these limits, you create space for what truly matters, whether it's personal growth, meaningful relationships, or fulfilling work. This self-protection is not selfish. It's an act of preservation that enables you to show up fully in other areas of your life. Another important element of boundary setting is timing. Addressing boundary violations in the heat of the moment can escalate tensions. Instead, waiting for a calmer time to communicate your limits allows for a more productive conversation. For instance, if someone oversteps during a stressful situation, addressing it later when emotions have settled ensures that your message is heard without unnecessary resistance. Boundaries also involve knowing when to walk away. Not every situation or relationship can be managed through respectful dialogue. Sometimes, the best way to enforce your limits is to remove yourself from environments or connections that consistently disregard them. This decision is not about giving up, but about prioritizing your self-respect. Walking away demonstrates that you value yourself enough to let go of what no longer serves you. Reinforcing boundaries over time is an ongoing process. People may test your limits, especially if they are used to you accommodating their behavior. In these moments, standing firm is crucial. Reasserting your boundaries without frustration or anger reinforces your commitment to self-respect. Over time, most people adjust their behavior when they realize that your limits are non-negotiable. Setting boundaries also requires empathy. Understanding the perspective of others doesn't mean compromising your values, but it does help you communicate more effectively. By acknowledging their feelings or intentions, you create a foundation of respect that makes them more likely to honor your boundaries. For example, saying, "I understand this is important to you, but I need time for myself right now," balances empathy with assertiveness. The process of setting boundaries often reveals a deeper truth. Not everyone will respect your limits, and that's okay. Boundaries are not about controlling others, but about creating a framework for your own peace and integrity. When someone refuses to honor your boundaries, it's a reflection of their character, not yours. This realization allows you to let go of unnecessary guilt and focus on maintaining your standards. Boundaries are also deeply connected to self-worth. When you set and enforce limits, you send a message to yourself that your needs and values matter. This internal affirmation strengthens your sense of self-respect, which, in turn, influences how others perceive and treat you. The more you honor your boundaries, the more natural it becomes to expect respect from those around you. In relationships, boundaries can actually strengthen connections rather than weaken them. They create a clear understanding of expectations, reducing misunderstandings and conflicts. When both parties respect each other's limits, trust and appreciation grow. Healthy boundaries foster relationships built on mutual respect rather than obligation or resentment. Boundaries also serve as a filter for the people and situations you allow into your life. Those who respect your limits are likely to align with your values, while those who don't may not have your best interests at heart. This filtering process helps you cultivate a circle of relationships that support your growth and well-being. Setting boundaries without confrontation requires patience and practice. It's not always easy, especially if you're used to saying yes to everything or avoiding conflict. However, each step you take toward asserting your limits reinforces your self-respect and creates a ripple effect of respect in your relationships. Over time, boundary setting becomes less about defense and more about alignment, ensuring that your actions, relationships, and commitments reflect your truest self. When you approach boundaries with a Stoic mindset, they become more than just protective measures. They become tools for living with clarity, purpose, and integrity. This quiet strength inspires respect without the need for force or confrontation. It's a way of saying, through actions and words, "I value myself, and I invite you to do the same." And in that invitation lies the foundation for meaningful, respectful connections. When boundaries are established with clarity and respect, they create a foundation for something even more impactful, the ability to lead by example. In a chaotic world where words often lose their weight, actions remain undeniable. People are drawn to those who live their values with conviction, who do not simply talk about integrity, but embody it in every choice they make. Leading by example is not about seeking admiration. It's about living virtuously in a way that inspires others to do the same. True leadership begins with the quiet power of authenticity. When your actions align with your beliefs, you create a sense of trust that words alone cannot achieve. People respect those who live what they preach because it proves that their principles are not empty rhetoric, but a way of life. This alignment is rare in a world where appearances often matter more than substance, making it even more magnetic. Leading by example requires consistency. It is not about occasional grand gestures, but about the small, daily decisions that reflect your character. Whether it is showing kindness in a moment of frustration, maintaining composure in a heated argument, or fulfilling promises no matter how minor, these actions demonstrate who you are. Consistency builds credibility, and credibility earns respect. People may not always notice the details, but over time, your steady behavior creates a reputation of reliability and integrity. One of the most profound ways to lead by example is through resilience. Life's challenges are inevitable, but how you respond to them defines your influence. When you face adversity with grace and perseverance, you show others that strength is not about avoiding difficulties, but about rising above them. This kind of leadership does not require words of motivation. It is a silent testament to the power of endurance. The way you treat others also speaks volumes about your character. Respect, kindness, and patience are qualities that resonate deeply, especially in a world often driven by self-interest. When you show genuine care for others, even in small ways, it sets a standard for how people should treat one another. Leading with compassion does not mean sacrificing your own needs. It means finding balance and showing that strength and empathy can coexist. Accountability is another cornerstone of leading by example. Admitting mistakes and taking responsibility for them requires humility and courage, but it also fosters respect. People admire those who can own their shortcomings without making excuses. This transparency builds trust because it shows that you value honesty over protecting your image. Accountability also reinforces the idea that leadership is not about perfection, but about striving to improve continuously. Leading by example extends beyond personal relationships to professional environments. In the workplace, actions like punctuality, dedication, and fairness set the tone for the entire team. A leader who works with integrity inspires others to do the same, creating a culture of mutual respect and high standards. Conversely, when actions contradict words, it undermines morale and trust, highlighting the importance of living your values consistently. In moments of conflict, leading by example means choosing diplomacy over aggression. This does not mean avoiding difficult conversations, but approaching them with respect and a genuine desire to resolve issues. The ability to listen, even when emotions run high, demonstrates emotional intelligence and earns admiration. When others see that you can remain calm and constructive under pressure, it encourages them to follow suit. Leading by example also involves prioritizing growth. When you invest in your own development, whether through learning, self-reflection, or skill building, you inspire others to do the same. Growth-oriented leadership is not about showcasing your achievements, but about showing that there is always room to evolve. It creates an environment where others feel empowered to pursue their potential without fear of judgment. Another powerful way to lead by example is through integrity. This means making decisions based on principles rather than convenience or gain. Integrity often requires sacrifice, but it also earns deep respect because it shows that you are guided by something greater than immediate gratification. Whether it is standing up for what is right, even when it is unpopular, or staying true to your commitments, integrity reinforces your credibility. In a chaotic world, leading by example also means embracing simplicity. Complexity often breeds confusion, but simplicity creates clarity. By focusing on what truly matters and cutting through the noise, you demonstrate the value of purposeful living. This simplicity is not about doing less, it is about doing what aligns with your values. It sets an example of prioritization that helps others navigate their own paths more effectively. Patience is another often overlooked aspect of leadership by example. In a fast-paced world, the ability to remain patient and deliberate is a rare and valuable quality. Patience shows that you trust the process and are not swayed by the urgency of external pressures. It creates a sense of stability that others find reassuring and inspiring. The ability to remain non-reactive in the face of provocation also sets a powerful example. When others see that you do not allow external chaos to disrupt your inner peace, it inspires them to seek the same level of control. This is not about suppressing emotions, but about channeling them constructively. Non-reactivity demonstrates a mastery of self that commands respect and encourages others to adopt similar practices. Leading by example requires courage. Not the kind that seeks to be heroic, but the kind that quietly persists in doing what is right. It is about standing firm in your convictions, even when faced with opposition or doubt. This courage is contagious. When others see you leading with integrity and strength, they are emboldened to follow suit. Vision is another essential component of leading by example. It is not enough to live virtuously. You must also have a clear sense of purpose that guides your actions. When people see that your choices are driven by a greater vision, it adds depth to your leadership. Vision gives your actions meaning, inspiring others to align themselves with something larger than themselves. Leading by example also involves adaptability. The world is constantly changing, and rigid leadership often fails to meet the moment. By remaining flexible and open to new perspectives, you show that leadership is not about control, but about collaboration. This adaptability demonstrates humility and a willingness to learn, qualities that resonate deeply with others. One of the most enduring ways to lead by example is through gratitude. Expressing genuine appreciation for the people and opportunities in your life creates a positive atmosphere that others are drawn to. Gratitude shifts the focus from what is lacking to what is abundant, fostering a sense of contentment and generosity. It sets the tone for a culture of acknowledgement and respect. At its core, leading by example is about authenticity. It is not about perfection or performance, but about showing up as your true self. Authentic leaders do not pretend to have all the answers. They lead with honesty and humility. This vulnerability creates connection and trust because it shows that leadership is not about being above others, but walking alongside them. In the end, leading by example is not about seeking recognition or control. It is about living in alignment with your values and letting your actions speak for themselves. In a chaotic world, This kind of leadership stands out as a beacon of integrity and purpose. It is a quiet revolution, a way of inspiring others not through force, but through the undeniable power of living virtuously. When you lead by example, you do not just earn respect. You create a legacy that others are eager to carry forward. When leading by example becomes your way of life, it naturally builds a sense of respect that few can challenge. Yet, even the most admired individuals can see their credibility falter when emotions take control. Emotional detachment is not about being cold or indifferent. It's about mastering your inner world so external chaos doesn't dictate your behavior. Respect is fragile, and overreactions can break it in an instant. To maintain credibility and integrity, learning to detach emotionally is essential. Emotional detachment starts with awareness. Every strong reaction begins with a trigger, an event, a word, or an action that stirs something within. The key to mastering detachment lies in recognizing these triggers before they spiral into emotional outbursts. Awareness creates a gap between stimulus and response, giving you the power to choose how to act. This control is the foundation of respect because it shows that you're not easily swayed by circumstances. Detachment is not about ignoring your emotions. It's about observing them without judgment. Emotions carry valuable information, but reacting impulsively often clouds this insight. When you detach, you step back and analyze the root of your feelings. Why did this particular situation upset you? What deeper beliefs or fears are at play? By understanding your emotions, you gain clarity and can address the real issue rather than reacting to surface-level triggers. A significant part of detachment involves separating yourself from others' opinions. People's judgments, whether positive or negative, often provoke emotional reactions. When you tie your self-worth to how others perceive you, you give them control over your emotional state. Detachment means valuing your opinion of yourself more than anyone else's. This self-reliance not only strengthens your inner peace, but also commands respect from others, as they see you're not easily influenced by external validation or criticism. Another element of detachment is learning not to personalize situations. Not every negative comment or difficult interaction is about you. People project their frustrations, insecurities, and biases onto others. And if you take it personally, you carry their burdens as your own. Detachment allows you to see situations for what they are, not as reflections of your value. This perspective frees you from unnecessary stress and keeps your focus where it belongs, on your own growth and integrity. Practicing emotional detachment also involves setting boundaries with your own thoughts. Ruminating over past mistakes or future uncertainties drains your energy and anchors you in negativity. Detachment means recognizing when your mind is spiraling and redirecting it to the present moment. Techniques like mindfulness and deep breathing can help anchor you in the now, reducing the grip of overthinking. When you're present, you're less likely to react impulsively and more likely to respond thoughtfully. Detachment requires patience and practice, especially in high-stakes situations. It's easy to stay calm when everything is going smoothly, but the real test comes during moments of tension or conflict. In these moments, remind yourself that your reaction is a choice. Even if your initial impulse is to react strongly, pausing for just a few seconds can shift your perspective. This pause gives you time to assess whether your reaction will help or harm the situation. One of the benefits of emotional detachment is that it protects your energy. Reacting to every provocation or slight drains your mental and emotional reserves, leaving you less capable of handling truly important matters. By detaching, You conserve your energy for situations that truly matter. This restraint shows maturity and earns respect, as people recognize that you don't waste your focus on trivial concerns. Detachment also strengthens your ability to handle criticism. When you're emotionally attached to your work or ideas, criticism can feel like a personal attack. Detachment allows you to separate yourself from your work, making it easier to see feedback as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat. This perspective not only helps you improve, but also demonstrates humility and openness, qualities that earn admiration and trust. Another important aspect of detachment is staying neutral in conflicts. When emotions run high, it's tempting to take sides or escalate tensions. However, remaining calm and objective often leads to better outcomes. Detachment enables you to listen to all perspectives without getting emotionally entangled. This impartiality makes you a trusted mediator and a voice of reason in heated situations, further enhancing your credibility. Detachment also applies to your expectations. Many emotional reactions stem from unmet expectations, expectations of how others should behave, how situations should unfold, or how outcomes should align with your desires. When you attach yourself too strongly to these expectations, disappointment is inevitable. Detachment means focusing on your efforts rather than the results, recognizing that some things are beyond your control. This mindset reduces frustration and helps you maintain your composure even when things don't go as planned. Practicing emotional detachment doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means acknowledging them without letting them dictate your actions. Journaling can be a valuable tool for this. Writing down your thoughts and emotions helps you process them in a constructive way, creating distance between your feelings and your reactions. This practice allows you to respond to situations with clarity and intention rather than impulsively. Detachment is also about cultivating resilience. Life is unpredictable and setbacks are inevitable. When you're emotionally attached to outcomes, every failure feels devastating. Detachment helps you view challenges as temporary and part of the larger journey. This perspective fosters perseverance and demonstrates to others that you are capable of handling difficulties without losing your balance. A key to mastering detachment is focusing on what you can control. The Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control teaches that while you can't control external events, you can control your reactions. By shifting your energy toward what you can influence, you free yourself from the frustration of trying to change things beyond your reach. This focus not only preserves your peace, but also inspires respect, as people see you as grounded and practical. Detachment also enhances your relationships. When you're emotionally attached to how others act or feel, you risk becoming overly reactive or controlling. Detachment allows you to respect others' autonomy while maintaining your own peace. It creates healthier dynamics because you're not constantly trying to manage or fix others. This balance fosters mutual respect and understanding. In leadership, emotional detachment is invaluable. A leader who reacts emotionally to every challenge undermines their authority and creates instability. Conversely, a leader who remains composed and focused, even in difficult situations, inspires confidence and trust. Detachment enables you to make decisions based on logic and principles rather than temporary emotions, ensuring better outcomes for everyone involved. Detachment is also a form of self-respect. When you refuse to let external circumstances dictate your inner state, you affirm your worth and autonomy. This inner strength is deeply attractive because it signals that you are in control of yourself. People respect those who don't let their emotions dominate them because it shows discipline and self-mastery. The journey to mastering emotional detachment is not about becoming unfeeling, it's about becoming free. Free from the need for constant validation, free from the weight of others' expectations, and free from the chaos of unchecked emotions. This freedom allows you to navigate life with clarity and purpose, earning respect through your steadiness and resolve. In every interaction, every challenge, and every success, detachment becomes a tool for maintaining your credibility and integrity. It is not about shutting out the world, but about engaging with it on your terms, with wisdom and grace. When you master emotional detachment, you don't just protect your peace. You elevate yourself to a level where respect is not demanded, but naturally given. When emotional detachment becomes a natural part of how you navigate the world, it brings clarity not just to your actions, but also to your words. In a world saturated with noise, the ability to speak with purpose stands out as a rare and powerful skill. Saying less, yet meaning more, isn't just an art. It's a strategy for commanding attention and respect. Words, when chosen with care, carry weight far beyond their syllables. They shape perceptions, inspire action, and build trust. Minimalist communication begins with understanding that not every thought needs to be spoken. Many people fill conversations with unnecessary words, hoping to assert themselves or prove a point. But over-explaining often dilutes the message. Speaking less forces you to distill your thoughts into their purest form, making each word impactful. When you speak with precision, people listen because they know your words are meaningful. The foundation of purposeful speech lies in pausing before you speak. This brief moment of reflection allows you to consider whether your words add value to the conversation. It's easy to fall into the trap of speaking impulsively, especially when emotions are high or silence feels uncomfortable. But words spoken in haste are often regretted. By pausing, you ensure that what you say aligns with your intentions and is worth hearing. Listening deeply is another key aspect of minimalist communication. Many people listen just to reply, focusing on what they want to say next, rather than truly understanding the other person. This habit creates shallow conversations and missed connections. When you listen without interruption, you not only understand the speaker better, but also gain insights that can guide your response. Listening attentively shows respect, and it makes your eventual words more relevant and impactful. Minimalist communication also requires clarity. Speaking less doesn't mean being vague or cryptic. It means conveying your thoughts clearly and concisely. Clarity involves choosing the right words and structuring your sentences so that your message is easy to understand. Avoiding jargon, filler words, and unnecessary details ensures that your point comes across effectively. Clear communication reflects your confidence and earns the trust of your audience. Non-verbal communication amplifies the power of minimalist speech. Your tone, facial expressions, and body language often say more than your words. A calm and steady tone conveys confidence, while open and engaged body language fosters connection. When your non-verbal cues align with your words, they reinforce your message, making it even more compelling. This alignment creates a sense of authenticity that draws people in. Another benefit of speaking less is that it leaves room for curiosity. When you don't reveal everything at once, it encourages others to ask questions or reflect on your words. This engagement deepens the conversation and makes it more meaningful. By speaking less, you create space for dialogue rather than delivering a monologue, which fosters mutual understanding and respect. Minimalist communication also involves choosing the right timing. Even the most thoughtful words can lose their impact if delivered at the wrong moment. Understanding the flow of a conversation and knowing when to speak ensures that your words resonate. Timing isn't just about waiting for a pause. It's about sensing when your input will add the most value. This awareness demonstrates emotional intelligence and respect for others' contributions. Purposeful speech often requires you to embrace silence. Silence can be uncomfortable, but it's a powerful tool in communication. It gives people time to process what's been said and allows the conversation to develop organically. Silence also signals that you're confident enough to let your words stand without rushing to fill the gaps. This restraint creates an aura of thoughtfulness and authority. When you speak less, you also learn to choose your battles wisely. Not every disagreement or misstep needs to be addressed. By focusing only on what truly matters, you conserve your energy and ensure that your words carry more weight. This selective approach prevents you from being drawn into unnecessary conflicts and allows you to maintain your credibility. Minimalist communication extends beyond verbal interactions. Written communication, whether in emails, messages, or reports, benefits from the same principles. Long-winded writing often loses the reader's attention, while concise and clear writing captures and holds it. Eliminating fluff and getting straight to the point shows respect for the recipient's time and enhances the effectiveness of your message. The practice of speaking less also cultivates humility. It reminds you that your voice isn't the only one that matters in a conversation. By giving others the space to express themselves, you show that you value their perspective. This humility strengthens relationships and builds trust because it demonstrates that you're not just focused on being heard, but on understanding others. Purposeful communication isn't about withholding your thoughts, but about delivering them with precision and intention. This approach reduces misunderstandings because your message is clear and direct. It also reduces the likelihood of saying something you might later regret, as every word is chosen thoughtfully. This careful use of language reflects discipline and self-control, qualities that others deeply respect. Minimalist communication also teaches you to focus on the impact of your words rather than their quantity. A single well-placed sentence can carry more weight than a lengthy speech. This focus on quality over quantity ensures that your words leave a lasting impression. When people know that you speak with purpose, they are more likely to listen and take your words seriously. In high-pressure situations, speaking less is particularly valuable. When emotions run high, people often say things they don't mean or overcomplicate the issue. By staying composed and speaking only when necessary, you bring clarity to the chaos. This restraint shows leadership and earns respect because it demonstrates that you're not driven by impulse but by intention. Minimalist communication also fosters accountability. When you speak less, there's less room for misinterpretation or missteps. Each word carries responsibility, and this awareness makes you more mindful of what you say. This accountability builds trust, as people see you as someone who chooses their words carefully and stands by them. Another aspect of purposeful communication is the ability to say no gracefully. Many people struggle with this, fearing rejection or conflict. But saying no with clarity and respect is a powerful form of minimalist speech. It sets boundaries without unnecessary explanations or justifications, showing that you value your time and priorities. This firmness earns respect because it demonstrates self-assurance. Minimalist communication doesn't mean being silent. It means being intentional. It's about speaking in a way that reflects your values, respects others, and leaves a positive impact. It's a skill that requires practice, but its rewards are profound. By speaking less and saying more, you create deeper connections, foster mutual respect, and establish yourself as someone whose words are always worth hearing. When you embrace the principles of minimalist communication, you don't just change how you speak. You transform how others perceive and respond to you. Every word becomes a reflection of your character, a tool for building understanding, and a testament to your wisdom. And in a world where words are often wasted, the ability to say more with less becomes a rare and invaluable gift. When words are chosen with intention and purpose, they have the power to inspire trust and admiration. But behind every impactful word lies something even more profound: authenticity. It is not the crafted speech or the carefully curated image that leaves a lasting impression. It is the undeniable strength of being true to oneself. In a world often consumed by appearances and validation, authenticity stands as a beacon of integrity and freedom. Authenticity is the choice to live in alignment with your values, even when it's difficult. It means standing firm in who you are, regardless of external pressures to conform or please. This courage to be genuine carries a magnetic power because it is rare and deeply inspiring. While popularity often seeks approval from others, authenticity starts with self-approval. It's not about being liked by everyone, but about being respected for staying true to yourself. When you choose authenticity, you create trust. People instinctively recognize and respect honesty because it feels solid and reliable. Popularity, on the other hand, often relies on presenting a version of oneself that fits into expectations. This approach may win temporary approval, but it lacks the depth and consistency that foster lasting connections. Authenticity earns respect, not because it is perfect, but because it is real. Living authentically requires vulnerability. It's about showing your true self, including your flaws, doubts, and imperfections. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the strength to say, "This is who I am." When others see that you're unafraid to be genuine, it gives them permission to do the same. This shared openness creates relationships built on honesty rather than pretense. Authenticity also involves taking ownership of your choices. It's easy to shift blame or avoid responsibility in an effort to maintain a favorable image. But true authenticity means admitting when you're wrong and learning from it. This level of honesty builds credibility because it shows that your character matters more than your ego. People respect those who can own their mistakes because it reflects integrity and accountability. Choosing to live truthfully also means letting go of the need to seek validation. Constantly trying to prove your worth to others is exhausting and unsustainable. Authenticity liberates you from this cycle because it centers your self-worth on your own values and actions. When you no longer depend on external approval, you gain a sense of freedom and confidence that is deeply attractive to others. Authenticity doesn't mean being the same in every situation. It means being consistent in your principles. Different circumstances may call for different approaches, but your core values remain unchanged. This consistency creates a sense of stability that others find reassuring. They know what to expect from you because your actions and words are grounded in who you truly are. In choosing authenticity, you also develop resilience. Popularity can be fleeting, dependent on trends and external opinions that shift constantly. Authenticity, however, provides a steady foundation that withstands criticism and rejection. When you live truthfully, setbacks and challenges don't shake your sense of self because you're rooted in something deeper than others' approval. Another aspect of authenticity is setting boundaries. When you prioritize being true to yourself, you naturally define what you will and will not accept. These boundaries are not about exclusion, but about protecting your energy and values. They communicate self-respect and invite others to treat you with the same regard. Popularity often involves saying yes to please others, but authenticity gives you the strength to say no when it matters. Authenticity also transforms the way you connect with others. Instead of trying to fit in or impress, you focus on building genuine relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. This approach creates deeper and more meaningful connections because it removes the layers of pretense that often cloud interactions. People value authenticity because it feels real in a world that can often feel artificial. Choosing to live authentically also means embracing your individuality. Many people sacrifice their uniqueness to fit into societal norms or gain acceptance. But it's your individuality that makes you valuable. When you celebrate who you are, you inspire others to do the same. Authenticity isn't about standing out for the sake of attention. It's about standing firm in your truth, which naturally draws admiration. Living truthfully also involves being honest with yourself. It's easy to fall into self-deception, convincing yourself of things that align with what you want to believe rather than what is real. Authenticity requires self-awareness and the willingness to face uncomfortable truths. This honesty allows you to grow and evolve while staying grounded in who you are. Authenticity challenges the fear of rejection. Many people compromise their values or hide their true selves out of fear of being judged or excluded. But living authentically means accepting that not everyone will approve of you, and being okay with that. This acceptance is liberating because it frees you from the pressure to conform. When you embrace your truth, you attract the right people, those who value and respect the real you. Choosing authenticity also means living with intention. It's about aligning your actions with your beliefs and making choices that reflect your values. This alignment creates a sense of purpose and fulfillment because you're not living to meet others' expectations, but to honor your own truth. This sense of purpose is deeply inspiring to those around you because it shows what it means to live with integrity. Authenticity is not without challenges. It requires courage to stand firm in your truth, especially when it goes against the grain. But these challenges are also opportunities to strengthen your character and deepen your self-respect. Every time you choose authenticity over popularity, you reinforce your commitment to living truthfully. One of the most profound impacts of authenticity is the example it sets for others. In a world often driven by appearances, living authentically is a quiet act of rebellion. It shows that it's possible to be true to yourself and still find success, fulfillment, and meaningful connections. Your authenticity inspires others to question their own choices and consider what it means to live in alignment with their values. Authenticity also fosters trust. When people see that you're genuine, they feel safe to be themselves around you. This trust creates stronger relationships and a sense of community. Popularity may win attention, but authenticity wins loyalty because it is grounded in something real and enduring. Choosing authenticity over popularity ultimately leads to a more fulfilling life. It allows you to focus on what truly matters rather than chasing fleeting approval. It creates a sense of peace because you're no longer trying to be someone you're not. And it earns you the respect of others because it reflects courage, integrity, and self-respect. When you live authentically, you don't just set yourself apart. You create a ripple effect that inspires others to embrace their truth. This influence goes far beyond the superficial appeal of popularity, leaving a lasting impact that enriches your life and the lives of those around you. Authenticity is not just powerful, it is transformative, offering a path to deeper connection, greater respect, and unshakable self-worth. When authenticity becomes your guiding force, it transforms not only your words, but the way you present yourself to the world. Confidence and authority aren't just conveyed through what you say, they're communicated even more powerfully through your body language. In a split second, the way you carry yourself can shape perceptions, build trust, and command respect. Poised body language isn't about theatrics or false bravado. It's about aligning your physical presence with the inner confidence that comes from living authentically. Mastering poised body language begins with posture. The way you stand and sit speaks volumes before you even open your mouth. A straight, relaxed posture signals self-assurance, while slouching or rigid stances can undermine your presence. The balance lies in being upright without appearing tense. This balance creates an impression of strength paired with approachability, drawing others to engage with you without intimidation. Your eyes hold immense power in non-verbal communication. Maintaining steady eye contact conveys confidence and attentiveness, showing that you are present and engaged. Avoiding eye contact can make you appear unsure or disinterested, while excessive staring can come across as aggressive. The key is to find a natural rhythm, meeting someone's gaze long enough to connect, but shifting when appropriate to avoid discomfort. This balance shows emotional intelligence and establishes trust. The way you move can also enhance or diminish your authority. Purposeful movements, whether it's how you walk into a room or how you gesture during a conversation, signal control and intention. Quick, fidgety motions can suggest nervousness, while overly slow actions may seem exaggerated or disingenuous. Moving with calm, deliberate intent reflects inner composure and creates a sense of gravitas. Your hands play a crucial role in non-verbal expression. Open, visible hands signal transparency and honesty, while hiding them can create a sense of mistrust. Gestures should feel natural and align with what you're saying. Excessive or mismatched gestures can distract from your message, while appropriate gestures enhance clarity and emphasize key points. Subtle movements, like a steady hand to reinforce a statement, demonstrate confidence and draw attention to your words. Facial expressions are another cornerstone of poised body language. A neutral, composed face creates a foundation of calm authority, while excessive expressions can make you seem reactive or insincere. Smiling, when genuine, softens your presence and invites connection, but overdoing it can dilute its impact. Mastering a range of expressions that reflect your emotions without exaggeration makes your interactions feel authentic and relatable. Your physical space also communicates volumes. Maintaining an appropriate amount of personal space shows respect while asserting boundaries. Standing too close can feel intrusive, while staying too far away can create a sense of detachment. Understanding spatial dynamics helps you adapt to different situations, ensuring your presence is felt without overwhelming others. This spatial awareness signals both confidence and consideration. Breathing is an often overlooked element of body language. Shallow, rapid breaths can make you appear anxious, while deep, steady breathing anchors your presence. Controlled breathing not only calms your nerves, but also helps regulate your voice, ensuring that it remains clear and steady. A calm demeanor begins with calm breathing, and others subconsciously pick up on this sense of balance, reinforcing their perception of your confidence. Your stance is a reflection of your inner state. Standing evenly with your weight distributed communicates stability and readiness. Shifting or leaning excessively can make you seem unsure or disengaged. A firm, grounded stance creates an impression of someone who is both steady and focused, ready to take on challenges with assurance. This stability is a visual representation of your inner calm. Body language extends to how you handle external distractions. Maintaining composure in the face of interruptions, unexpected noise, or other disruptions signals that you're in control of your environment. Reacting calmly, perhaps with a slight pause and a composed adjustment, demonstrates that you're unshaken by external forces. This resilience in your physical demeanor mirrors emotional strength and commands respect. Mirroring is a powerful but subtle technique in nonverbal communication. When used naturally, mirroring the body language of the person you're interacting with creates a sense of connection and rapport. This doesn't mean copying every move, but aligning with their posture or gestures in a way that feels organic. Mirroring builds trust because it subconsciously signals understanding and empathy. Another key element is the use of your voice in conjunction with your body language. A steady, deliberate tone enhances the confidence conveyed through your posture and movements. Pausing at the right moments adds emphasis and ensures that your words resonate. Speaking too quickly or with a shaky voice can undermine even the most composed physical presence. When your voice and body language are aligned, they create a cohesive message that's impossible to ignore. Your ability to remain still can also be a powerful statement. In tense or high-pressure situations, staying physically composed while others fidget or react impulsively demonstrates self-control. Stillness, when intentional, is not passive. It's a way of holding attention and signaling that you're grounded. This calmness creates an atmosphere of stability that others find reassuring and inspiring. Adaptability in body language is essential for navigating different environments and audiences. What works in a formal meeting may not translate to a casual gathering. Observing and adjusting to the social and cultural norms of your surroundings shows emotional intelligence and respect. This adaptability doesn't mean compromising your authenticity. It's about finding the right balance to ensure your presence is felt without creating discomfort. Your physical presence also extends to how you approach and exit situations. Entering a room with quiet confidence, walking with purpose, making eye contact, and offering a calm nod or smile sets the tone for your engagement. Similarly, leaving with grace, offering a firm but warm farewell, leaves a lasting impression. These moments bookend your interactions, reinforcing the respect you've earned through your demeanor. The way you handle physical objects can also convey authority. Whether it's holding a notebook, adjusting your glasses, or placing your hands on a table, these actions should be purposeful and controlled. Fidgeting with objects can detract from your presence, while deliberate actions signal focus and intention. Even small gestures, when executed with care, can reinforce your composed image. Clothing and grooming, while external, contribute to the overall perception of your body language. Wearing attire that aligns with the context and is well fitted enhances the visual impact of your posture and movements. Grooming reflects attention to detail and self-respect, which complements the confidence you convey through non-verbal cues. These elements work together to create a cohesive and polished presence. Mastering poised body language is not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about allowing your inner confidence to shine outwardly. It's a process of aligning your physical presence with your authentic self, creating a harmonious expression of who you are. This alignment not only commands respect, but also creates deeper connections, as people sense the honesty and integrity behind your actions. When you communicate through poised body language, you transcend the limitations of words. Your presence becomes a statement, an unspoken message of confidence, authority, and authenticity. This mastery doesn't come from mimicry or superficial tricks. It's a reflection of the inner work you've done to cultivate self-assurance. And in a world that often values noise over substance, this quiet power speaks volumes. When poised body language speaks volumes, the unshakable foundation that makes it truly powerful is integrity. Without integrity, even the most composed gestures lose their substance. Integrity is the invisible thread that aligns your words, actions, and values into a cohesive whole. It's what makes people trust you, admire you, and ultimately respect you. Integrity doesn't require announcement or validation. It reveals itself naturally through consistency, truthfulness, and moral courage. Integrity begins with self-awareness. To align your actions with your words, you must first understand your own values and principles. This clarity provides a guide for your decisions and interactions, ensuring that you stay true to yourself in every situation. People respect those who are unwavering in their convictions because it demonstrates depth and authenticity. Integrity isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent and genuine. Trust is built on the foundation of integrity. When your actions match your promises, it sends a powerful message. You are reliable. In a world where empty words are common, this reliability is a rare quality that stands out. People gravitate toward those whose actions consistently back up their claims because it eliminates doubt and fosters confidence. Integrity creates a sense of safety, knowing that you are dependable even in challenging circumstances. Honesty is a cornerstone of integrity. Speaking the truth, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient, reflects courage and respect for yourself and others. Lies and half-truths may offer temporary relief, but they erode trust over time. Honesty, on the other hand, builds bridges of trust that withstand tests and trials. When you are truthful, people know they can rely on you, even in difficult moments. Integrity also involves humility. A person of integrity is not afraid to admit mistakes or acknowledge when they don't know something. This humility doesn't diminish your authority, it enhances it. Owning up to your shortcomings shows that you value growth over appearances and truth over ego. It demonstrates that your primary commitment is to what's right, not to how you're perceived. Accountability is another vital aspect of integrity. Taking responsibility for your actions, decisions, and their consequences shows maturity and reliability. People respect those who don't shift blame or evade accountability because it demonstrates strength of character. Accountability isn't just about addressing mistakes. It's about consistently showing up and owning the results of your choices. Integrity requires consistency, not only in the big decisions but also in the small, everyday moments. Respect is often won or lost in the subtle details, keeping promises, showing up on time, or delivering on commitments. These small actions accumulate over time, creating a reputation of trustworthiness. Consistency signals that your integrity isn't situational. It's a defining part of who you are. A person of integrity sets boundaries that align with their values. They know what they stand for and are willing to uphold those principles, even when it's difficult. These boundaries are not about rigidity, but about honoring your beliefs and self-respect. Upholding your boundaries teaches others how to treat you and creates an atmosphere of mutual respect. The courage to stand by your values, even in the face of adversity, is a defining quality of integrity. Compromising your principles for convenience or approval may offer short-term gains, but at the cost of long-term respect. Integrity means making decisions that align with your moral compass, even when those choices are unpopular or challenging. This steadfastness earns admiration because it proves that your character isn't easily swayed. Integrity also fosters credibility. In professional settings, credibility is a priceless asset that can determine the trajectory of your career. When colleagues, clients, or collaborators know that your words carry weight and your actions reflect your promises, they are more likely to trust you with opportunities and responsibilities. Credibility isn't built overnight. It's earned through a pattern of integrity over time. Respect rooted in integrity is resilient. While superficial respect based on image or popularity can waver, the respect earned through integrity withstands challenges. People respect those who remain consistent and true, regardless of changing circumstances. Integrity creates a lasting impression because it reflects inner strength and commitment to values. Living with integrity also means being mindful of how your actions affect others. Empathy and consideration are integral to maintaining trust and respect. When your decisions reflect not only your own principles, but also a genuine concern for others, it strengthens your relationships and deepens mutual respect. Integrity isn't self-serving. It's about contributing positively to the lives of those around you. Integrity shapes how you handle conflicts and disagreements. It's easy to abandon principles in the heat of an argument or when faced with opposition, but integrity demands that you remain respectful and true to your values, even in difficult conversations. Resolving conflicts with honesty and fairness demonstrates emotional intelligence and builds trust, even with those who may not initially agree with you. The way you treat those who can offer you nothing in return also reflects your integrity. Respecting everyone, regardless of their status or influence, reveals a level of character that commands admiration. Integrity isn't about selective morality. It's about treating all people with the same level of dignity and fairness. Integrity also shapes your long-term vision. It encourages you to focus on what truly matters rather than being distracted by short-term gains or superficial recognition. This perspective fosters resilience and clarity, allowing you to make decisions that align with your deeper goals and values. People respect those who are guided by a sense of purpose and commitment to something greater than themselves. Living with integrity doesn't mean being inflexible. It's about staying true to your values while remaining open to growth and new perspectives. Integrity allows you to evolve without losing sight of what matters most. This balance between consistency and adaptability demonstrates wisdom and earns respect because it shows that your integrity isn't rigid but thoughtful. The impact of integrity extends beyond individual relationships. It influences entire communities and organizations. Leaders who prioritize integrity set a standard that inspires those around them. Their consistency, accountability, and authenticity create a culture of trust and collaboration. Integrity-driven leadership doesn't just command respect. It transforms the environment into one of shared purpose and mutual growth. Integrity also builds self-respect. When your actions align with your values, you cultivate a sense of inner peace and confidence. This self-respect radiates outward, influencing how others perceive and treat you. People are drawn to those who respect themselves because it signals a level of strength and assurance that inspires admiration. The journey of integrity is ongoing. It requires daily commitment and reflection to ensure that your actions continue to align with your principles. This consistency is what sets integrity apart. It's not a fleeting quality, but a defining characteristic that shapes every aspect of your life. The respect earned through integrity isn't fleeting either. It's enduring because it's built on a foundation of truth and trust. Living with integrity is not always the easiest path, but it is undoubtedly the most rewarding. It allows you to stand tall, knowing that your actions and words reflect your true self. This authenticity not only commands respect but also creates a legacy of trust and admiration that leaves a lasting impact on everyone you encounter. When integrity becomes the core of your character, it strengthens you to face any situation with confidence. Yet, even the most principled individuals encounter disrespect at some point. These moments, while unsettling, are also powerful opportunities to rise above and demonstrate unshakable strength. Handling disrespect with stoic grace is not about retaliation or submission. It's about maintaining your composure, preserving your dignity, and turning the situation into a reflection of your inner strength. Disrespect is often more about the person delivering it than the one receiving it. Understanding this shifts your perspective and empowers you to respond with clarity instead of reacting impulsively. When someone behaves disrespectfully, it often stems from their insecurities, frustrations, or lack of control. Recognizing this truth helps you detach emotionally from the situation and view it objectively, removing the sting of personal offense. The first step to handling disrespect is to pause. Disrespectful encounters often provoke an immediate emotional reaction, but responding in anger or frustration can escalate the situation. A pause creates a moment of control, allowing you to process the situation and decide how best to respond. This calmness disarms the other person and showcases your emotional discipline, which commands respect even in difficult circumstances. Stoic grace is rooted in self-respect. When you hold a deep sense of self-worth, others' opinions or actions lose their power to destabilize you. Disrespect may be unpleasant, but it doesn't define you unless you allow it to. By staying grounded in your own values and confidence, you prevent others from dictating your emotional state. This resilience not only preserves your peace, but also sets a powerful example. Nonverbal communication plays a key role in addressing disrespect. Your tone, posture, and facial expressions can diffuse tension or escalate it. Maintaining steady eye contact, keeping your voice calm, and adopting an open but composed posture show that you're in control without being confrontational. These nonverbal cues send a clear message. You are unshaken by the disrespect and unwilling to lower yourself to the same level. Responding to disrespect with clarity and assertiveness is essential. Silence can be powerful in some cases, but there are times when a measured response is necessary. Addressing the behavior directly but respectfully ensures that your boundaries are clear. For instance, saying, I value mutual respect in our interactions, communicates your stance without aggression. This approach reframes the encounter and forces the other person to confront their behavior. Walking away is another powerful tool for handling disrespect. Not every situation requires engagement, and sometimes the best response is to remove yourself entirely. This is not an act of weakness, but of strength. It shows that you value your energy and peace too much to engage in negativity. Walking away demonstrates that disrespect is beneath your attention, reinforcing your sense of dignity. Practicing empathy can also transform how you handle disrespect. While it's not your responsibility to excuse poor behavior, understanding the possible reasons behind it can help you respond with compassion rather than hostility. Empathy doesn't mean accepting disrespect. It means choosing to see the person behind the behavior and responding with maturity. This perspective often diffuses tension and opens the door for resolution. Stoicism teaches the importance of focusing on what you can control. In the face of disrespect, you cannot control how others behave, but you can control your reaction. This mindset shifts your energy from frustration to empowerment. When you choose to respond with grace, you protect your peace and showcase a level of self-mastery that few achieve. This self-control earns respect even from those who initially dismissed you. Humor can also be a subtle and effective way to handle disrespect. A light-hearted, confident response can disarm the other person and diffuse the situation. Humor demonstrates that you are not easily rattled and that their behavior doesn't have the power to disrupt you. This approach works particularly well when the disrespect is minor or rooted in ignorance rather than malice. Maintaining perspective is crucial. Disrespectful moments can feel intense, but they are often fleeting. Viewing them as temporary and insignificant helps you avoid overreacting or internalizing the negativity. This broader perspective also reminds you that your energy is better spent on meaningful interactions and personal growth rather than dwelling on disrespect. Using disrespect as a learning opportunity turns a negative encounter into something constructive. Reflecting on how you handled the situation and considering what you could do differently next time fosters growth. This self-reflection not only improves your ability to manage future challenges, but also reinforces your commitment to living with integrity and grace. Setting boundaries is an essential part of addressing disrespect, allowing repeated poor behavior signals that it's acceptable, which can lead to ongoing issues. Establishing clear limits and communicating them firmly but respectfully ensures that others understand your expectations. Boundaries are not about controlling others, but about defining how you will be treated. This clarity prevents misunderstandings and creates a foundation for mutual respect. In some cases, addressing disrespect may require patience. Not all situations can be resolved immediately, and pushing for resolution in the heat of the moment can backfire. Giving the other person time to reflect on their behavior allows for a more productive conversation later. Patience also demonstrates your confidence and control, as you are not rushing to prove your point or demand validation. Forgiveness is another powerful aspect of handling disrespect with grace. Forgiving doesn't mean condoning the behavior or forgetting it. It means releasing the emotional weight it carries. Holding on to resentment only hurts you, while forgiveness frees you to move forward without the burden of negativity. This act of letting go is an expression of strength and maturity, not weakness. Disrespect can also be a reminder to focus on your own growth. Each encounter offers an opportunity to strengthen your emotional resilience and refine your ability to respond with composure. Viewing these moments as challenges rather than setbacks transforms them into valuable lessons. The more you practice handling disrespect with grace, the more naturally it becomes a part of your character. Leading by example is one of the most impactful ways to address disrespect. Responding with dignity and respect, even when it's not reciprocated, sets a standard for others. It demonstrates that respect isn't conditional. It's a reflection of your own values. Over time, this approach influences those around you and fosters a culture of mutual respect. Disrespect often tests your ability to stay true to your principles. It's easy to respond in kind, but doing so compromises your integrity. Choosing grace over retaliation reinforces your commitment to your values and strengthens your self-respect. This inner alignment shines through in your interactions, making it clear that you operate from a place of strength rather than weakness. Remaining composed in the face of disrespect also protects your credibility. Overreacting can damage your reputation and give others the power to undermine you. Staying calm and collected ensures that your response reflects your character, not the provocation. This consistency builds trust and admiration because it shows that you can handle challenges with poise. Ultimately, handling disrespect with stoic grace is about preserving your peace and dignity. It's not about winning arguments or seeking revenge. It's about staying true to yourself and demonstrating your strength through your actions. Each encounter is an opportunity to showcase the power of self-control, empathy, and resilience, leaving a lasting impression that commands respect. When handling disrespect with grace becomes second nature, it sets the stage for an even deeper exploration of character. Humility. True humility is not the absence of confidence, but the ability to balance it with self-awareness and respect for others. It is a quiet strength, a virtue that commands respect without demanding it. Humility creates an atmosphere of openness and trust, where arrogance builds walls and alienates. In its simplicity, humility holds immense power to inspire admiration and foster meaningful connections. Humility begins with an honest assessment of oneself. It is about recognizing strengths without overestimating them and acknowledging weaknesses without being defined by them. This balanced self-awareness is the foundation of humility, creating a space where growth is prioritized over ego. When people see that you are comfortable with who you are, flaws and all, it invites respect because it reflects authenticity and courage. Humility does not seek the spotlight. It allows actions to speak louder than words. People often admire those who achieve great things without the need to constantly showcase them. Humility and success demonstrates that your accomplishments are not about seeking validation, but about fulfilling your purpose. This quiet confidence resonates more deeply than self-promotion ever could. Listening is a cornerstone of humility. When you genuinely listen to others, it shows that you value their thoughts and experiences. Listening is not just about hearing words, it's about seeking to understand. This openness fosters trust and respect because it creates a sense of equality in the conversation. People are drawn to those who make them feel seen and heard, and humility achieves this effortlessly. Humility also involves being teachable. No matter how much you know, there is always room to learn. Admitting that you don't have all the answers is a sign of strength, not weakness. A humble person actively seeks opportunities to grow and improve, whether through feedback, collaboration, or self-reflection. This willingness to learn inspires others because it shows that growth is more important than being right. Acknowledging the contributions of others is another hallmark of humility. Success is rarely achieved alone, and recognizing the support, effort, and ideas of those around you reflects respect and gratitude. This acknowledgement not only strengthens relationships, but also highlights your integrity. It shows that you understand the value of teamwork and that you do not need to diminish others to elevate yourself. Humility does not mean diminishing your own worth. It is about finding a balance where you recognize your value without overshadowing others. Confidence and humility are not opposites. They complement each other. True humility allows you to stand tall without stepping on others. It demonstrates that strength can coexist with kindness and that self-assurance does not require arrogance. In leadership, humility is transformative. Leaders who approach their role with humility earn the loyalty and respect of their teams. They lead by example, showing that no task is beneath them and no person is unworthy of their time. Humble leaders prioritize the collective good over personal recognition, creating an environment of trust and collaboration. This approach not only inspires, but also fosters sustainable success. Humility also shines in how you handle criticism. Instead of reacting defensively or dismissively, humility allows you to consider feedback with an open mind. This receptiveness signals that you value growth over pride, earning respect even from critics. It also demonstrates emotional maturity, as you are willing to learn from challenges rather than resist them. The way you celebrate others' achievements reflects your humility. Arrogance often struggles to acknowledge the success of others, but humility finds joy in it. Celebrating others shows that you are secure in your own accomplishments and that you genuinely want to see others thrive. This generosity of spirit strengthens connections and reinforces your reputation as someone who uplifts rather than competes. Humility is rooted in gratitude. Recognizing the opportunities, people, and circumstances that have contributed to your journey fosters a sense of appreciation. Gratitude shifts the focus from entitlement to acknowledgement, reminding you that success is not solely your own doing. This perspective keeps you grounded and connected to the larger picture. Resisting the need to always be right is another expression of humility. In discussions or debates, humility allows you to prioritize understanding over winning. This approach fosters deeper connections and avoids unnecessary conflict. It also shows that you value the relationship more than proving a point, which earns respect and strengthens trust. Humility involves being mindful of how you use power and influence. Instead of leveraging them for personal gain, humble individuals use their positions to create positive change and empower others. This selflessness demonstrates that leadership is not about dominance, but about service. People respect those who lead with humility because it reflects a genuine commitment to the well-being of others. Another powerful aspect of humility is the ability to apologize sincerely. Taking responsibility for mistakes and making amends without deflecting or justifying actions shows integrity. A humble apology is not about saving face, it's about making things right. This willingness to own up to errors builds trust and admiration because it reflects accountability and self-respect. Humility teaches patience. It reminds you that growth takes time and that setbacks are part of the process. This patience extends to others, allowing you to approach their mistakes with understanding rather than judgment. Patience, rooted in humility, creates an environment where people feel supported rather than criticized, fostering respect and collaboration. In conflict resolution, humility plays a vital role. It allows you to approach disagreements with an open mind, seeking common ground rather than insisting on your perspective. This approach de-escalates tension and creates opportunities for meaningful dialogue. Humility in conflict is not about yielding your principles, but about prioritizing resolution over ego. Humility also involves recognizing the limits of control. There are aspects of life that are beyond your influence, and accepting this truth reflects wisdom. Arrogance often seeks to control everything, leading to frustration and conflict. Humility, on the other hand, focuses on what can be changed and lets go of what cannot. This perspective fosters peace and resilience. The presence of humility is felt in your everyday interactions. Simple acts of kindness, offering a helping hand, or sharing a word of encouragement reflect a humble heart. These small gestures may seem insignificant, but they leave lasting impressions. Humility is not about grand displays. It's about consistent actions that show care and respect for others. Humility protects you from the pitfalls of arrogance. While arrogance isolates and alienates, humility connects and uplifts. It creates a foundation of mutual respect that strengthens relationships and builds lasting admiration. Humility is not about thinking less of yourself. It's about thinking of yourself less and focusing on the greater good. Choosing humility transforms how you navigate the world. It aligns your actions with your values, fosters meaningful connections, and earns genuine respect. In a world that often equates confidence with arrogance, humility stands as a powerful counterbalance, proving that true strength lies in quiet self-assurance and respect for others. When humility becomes the core of how you lead and connect, it brings a unique strength, the ability to embrace silence in moments of tension. Silence, often underestimated, can carry a power that words cannot. In conflict, where emotions run high and words can quickly escalate tension, choosing silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is the quiet control that commands respect and shifts the dynamics of any challenging situation. Embracing silence in conflict allows you to wield influence without engaging in the chaos. Silence begins with restraint. In the heat of an argument, the instinct to react is strong. Words come quickly, fueled by frustration or the desire to defend. But reacting impulsively often leads to regret, while silence gives you time to think. Restraint allows you to evaluate the situation, separating what is important from what is fleeting. This pause demonstrates self-control and sends a clear message. You are not ruled by your emotions. In conflict, silence creates space. It disarms the other person, forcing them to pause and reflect. While silence can feel uncomfortable, it holds a mirror to the situation. When you refrain from adding fuel to the fire, the conflict often loses its intensity. This space encourages introspection and can lead to a more constructive dialogue. Silence shows that you prioritize resolution over being heard in the moment. Silence communicates confidence. Speaking less in conflict does not mean you lack things to say. It means you are selective about when and how you speak. This discipline signals that you value your words and do not waste them on unnecessary arguments. Confidence in silence is magnetic. It shows that you are secure in your stance and unshaken by provocation. Listening is a critical part of embracing silence. When you choose to stay silent, it is not about disengaging, but about actively listening. This attentiveness allows you to understand the other person's perspective, even if you disagree. Listening deeply not only helps you respond more effectively, but also shows respect. In conflict, being heard is often all someone truly wants, and silence can give them the space to express themselves. Silence also prevents escalation. Words spoken in anger often worsen the situation, creating a cycle of reaction and retaliation. By choosing silence, you break this cycle. It diffuses tension and creates an opportunity for cooler heads to prevail. This restraint shows maturity and wisdom, qualities that earn respect even in the midst of disagreement. Non-verbal communication becomes more pronounced in silence. Your body language, facial expressions, and eye contact convey your intentions without a single word. A calm demeanor, steady posture, and attentive gaze show that you are engaged without being reactive. This non-verbal presence can de-escalate conflicts and shift the tone of the interaction. Silence does not mean passivity. It is a strategic choice that allows you to evaluate your options. In some cases, the best way to respond is not to respond at all. By choosing silence, you avoid giving unnecessary attention to provocations and maintain your focus on what truly matters. This selectivity demonstrates strength and clarity as you refuse to be drawn into unproductive exchanges. Silence can also be a powerful tool for reflection. In conflict, emotions often cloud judgment, making it difficult to see the bigger picture. By stepping back and embracing silence, you gain the clarity needed to assess the situation objectively. This reflection helps you identify the root cause of the conflict and determine the most effective way to address it. In professional settings, silence can establish authority. A leader who listens more than they speak commands respect because they create space for others to contribute. In meetings or discussions, moments of silence after a point is made allow the weight of the message to sink in. This silence emphasizes the importance of the moment and encourages thoughtful responses rather than hasty reactions. Silence is also a form of boundary setting. When someone speaks disrespectfully or attempts to provoke you, silence sends a clear signal that their behavior is unacceptable. It shows that you will not engage on their terms, forcing them to reconsider their approach. This boundary protects your peace and reinforces your self-respect. In negotiations, silence can be a strategic advantage. When faced with an offer or a contentious point, remaining silent puts the pressure back on the other party. It gives them time to second-guess their position and often leads to concessions. Silence in these moments demonstrates confidence and composure, giving you the upper hand without aggressive tactics. Embracing silence in conflict also teaches patience. It requires you to resist the urge to fill the space with words and instead trust that the silence serves a purpose. Patience in silence builds resilience, as it teaches you to remain calm even in uncomfortable situations. This steadiness is a hallmark of emotional strength and earns respect from those around you. Silence fosters understanding. By choosing to listen rather than react, you gain insights into the other person's motivations, fears, and values. This understanding allows you to respond with empathy rather than defensiveness. Empathy, communicated through silence and thoughtful responses, can transform conflicts into opportunities for connection and growth. Silence can also be a form of leadership. In moments of chaos, the person who remains calm and composed often becomes the anchor for others. Silence in these moments signals that you are not easily shaken and that you prioritize clarity over noise. This steadiness inspires confidence and positions you as a source of guidance and stability. Choosing silence over words requires trust in yourself. It means believing that your presence and actions speak louder than anything you could say in the heat of the moment. This trust fosters self-assurance and reinforces your commitment to living with integrity. Silence becomes not just a tool, but a reflection of your inner strength. Silence can also shift the dynamic of a conflict. When one party stops reacting, the other is forced to confront their own behavior. This pause often leads to self-reflection, making it easier to find common ground. By embracing silence, you create an environment where resolution becomes possible because you remove the barriers created by reactive words. In personal relationships, silence can be a gift. In heated moments, choosing not to respond immediately gives both parties time to cool down. This pause prevents words that could cause lasting harm and allows for a more thoughtful conversation later. Silence shows that you value the relationship more than winning the argument. The power of silence lies in its ability to create space for thought, for understanding, and for resolution. It is not about suppressing your voice, but about choosing when and how to use it most effectively. In conflict, silence becomes a shield that protects your peace and a bridge that fosters mutual respect. When you embrace silence, you demonstrate a level of control and wisdom that commands admiration. It shows that you are not ruled by emotions or the need to dominate, but are guided by a deeper sense of purpose and strength. Silence is not the absence of action. It is a deliberate choice to prioritize clarity, respect, and resolution above all else. When silence becomes your strength in conflict, it sets the stage for one of the most transformative qualities, the ability to remain unshaken by criticism. Criticism, whether constructive or harsh, tests your resolve, challenges your self-perception, and often strikes at the core of your confidence. Yet, the way you handle criticism has the power to define not only your growth, but also how others perceive and respect you. Remaining calm and composed in the face of critique reflects an inner strength that commands admiration and sets you apart. The first step in handling criticism is to separate the critique from the person delivering it. Not all criticism is delivered kindly or with good intentions. By focusing on the message rather than the tone or motive, you can objectively evaluate its validity. This detachment allows you to extract valuable insights without being derailed by emotional reactions. It demonstrates maturity and self-control, qualities that naturally earn respect. Listening is crucial when faced with criticism. Many people rush to defend themselves or counter-argue, but this approach often escalates tension and closes the door to understanding. By actively listening without interrupting, you show that you are open to feedback and value the other person's perspective. This openness creates an atmosphere of respect and signals that you are confident enough to hear opposing views without feeling threatened. Acknowledging valid points in criticism is a powerful way to disarm negativity and show humility. When you admit that there may be areas for improvement, it demonstrates self-awareness and a willingness to grow. This response transforms criticism from a potential conflict into a constructive dialogue. Acknowledgement is not about agreeing with everything. It's about recognizing truth when you see it and respecting the opportunity to improve. Criticism often exposes emotional triggers, but responding with composure shows emotional intelligence. Instead of letting harsh words provoke you, take a moment to process your emotions privately. This pause helps you respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Maintaining emotional balance in these moments reflects strength and inspires confidence in your ability to handle challenges. The way you respond to unfair or baseless criticism speaks volumes about your character. Rather than retaliating or dismissing the critic, address the issue calmly and factually. Refuting false claims with clarity and respect shows that you are not easily shaken or drawn into unnecessary conflict. This approach not only protects your reputation, but also reinforces your credibility. Criticism can also be an opportunity to reaffirm your values. When feedback challenges your principles, staying true to them while considering the critique reflects integrity. This balance between openness and steadfastness shows that you are adaptable but not easily swayed. People respect those who can listen without losing their sense of self. Expressing gratitude for constructive criticism, even when it's uncomfortable, shifts the dynamic. A simple "thank you for your feedback" demonstrates confidence and emotional maturity. Gratitude disarms critics and fosters a positive environment for dialogue. It also shows that you view criticism as a tool for growth rather than a personal attack. Learning to let go of unnecessary criticism is equally important. Not all feedback warrants attention, and some critiques are rooted in misunderstanding or malice. By focusing only on feedback that aligns with your values and goals, you conserve your energy for what truly matters. Ignoring irrelevant criticism shows that you are selective and self-assured, which enhances your respectability. Self-reflection is a key aspect of handling criticism gracefully. Instead of dismissing it outright, take time to analyze whether there is truth in the feedback. This introspection not only helps you grow, but also demonstrates accountability. When you consistently evaluate yourself and make adjustments, it reinforces your commitment to personal and professional development. Using criticism as a learning opportunity transforms its impact. Every critique, regardless of how it's delivered, can teach you something about yourself, your work, or your approach. Viewing criticism as a stepping stone rather than an obstacle shifts your mindset from defensive to proactive. This perspective reflects resilience and a growth-oriented attitude that others admire. In situations where criticism feels overwhelming, it's important to remind yourself of your strengths. Critique often focuses on areas for improvement, but it doesn't define your worth or capabilities. By staying grounded in your accomplishments and values, you maintain perspective and prevent criticism from undermining your confidence. This balance between humility and self-assurance is a hallmark of strength. Engaging in constructive dialogue after receiving criticism fosters understanding and collaboration. Instead of shutting down or becoming defensive, ask questions to clarify the feedback. This engagement shows that you value the other person's input and are committed to improvement. It also opens the door to mutual respect, as the critic sees your willingness to listen and grow. Criticism often provides insights into how others perceive you, which can be invaluable for personal growth. While self-perception is important, understanding how your actions or words impact others helps you refine your approach. Using this insight to adjust your behavior demonstrates adaptability and a desire to build stronger connections. This responsiveness earns respect and deepens trust. Staying calm under criticism also sets an example for others. Whether in personal relationships or professional settings, your ability to handle feedback with grace inspires those around you. It shows that criticism, when approached correctly, is not something to fear, but a tool for growth. This leadership by example fosters a culture of openness and mutual respect. Criticism can also teach resilience. Facing challenges to your ideas or actions strengthens your ability to navigate difficult situations. Each instance of criticism you handle well builds your confidence and reinforces your emotional stability. Resilience is not just about enduring hardships. It's about growing through them and coming out stronger, which earns the admiration of others. Maintaining respect for the person delivering criticism, even when it's harsh, reflects your integrity. Responding with courtesy, regardless of how the feedback is presented, demonstrates that you are not easily provoked. This consistent respect reinforces your reputation as someone who values civility and professionalism. Criticism often challenges your ability to stay focused on your goals. It's easy to become distracted or discouraged, but using feedback to refine your path keeps you moving forward. By turning criticism into a catalyst for progress, you show that you are determined and adaptable. This focus and resilience earn respect because they reflect a commitment to growth and excellence. Handling criticism with grace also protects your relationships. Critique, if mishandled, can create tension and distance. By responding with understanding and humility, you strengthen the bond between yourself and the critic. Even in disagreements, this approach fosters trust and mutual respect, creating a foundation for continued collaboration. Ultimately, criticism is an opportunity to showcase your character. Whether the feedback is constructive or unfair, your response reveals your values, emotional intelligence, and resilience. By remaining unshaken, you turn criticism into a powerful tool for growth and a reflection of your unwavering strength. This ability to rise above critique commands respect and leaves a lasting impression. When the strength to remain unshaken by criticism becomes part of your character, it reveals an even more profound avenue for growth: vulnerability. Far from being a weakness, vulnerability is a powerful tool that, when embraced, transforms challenges into opportunities for connection and respect. It takes courage to be open about your struggles, imperfections, and truths, but this courage is what inspires others and solidifies their admiration. Vulnerability, when approached with self-awareness, turns honesty into strength and creates bonds that are both authentic and enduring. Vulnerability begins with self-awareness. To embrace your vulnerability, you must first understand yourself, your fears, insecurities, and aspirations. This self-awareness provides clarity about where your strengths and weaknesses lie. When you are honest with yourself, you can face your challenges head-on, showing others that authenticity is more valuable than perfection. This level of self-reflection demonstrates inner strength, because it takes courage to confront truths that are often uncomfortable. Openness about your struggles invites connection. People are drawn to those who are real, not those who try to present an unblemished facade. Sharing your challenges doesn't diminish respect. It enhances it by showing that you're human. Vulnerability creates a space where others feel safe to share their own experiences, building relationships based on mutual trust and understanding. This connection fosters admiration because it reveals your ability to rise above fear and connect on a deeper level. Vulnerability also involves owning your story. Rather than hiding parts of yourself out of shame or fear, embracing your experiences, good and bad, shows resilience. When you take control of your narrative, you turn what could be perceived as a weakness into a source of strength. This self-acceptance inspires others to confront their own stories, making you a role model for courage and authenticity. Acknowledging your limitations is another way vulnerability becomes a strength. Pretending to have all the answers can create distance, while admitting when you don't know something builds credibility. This honesty demonstrates that your focus is on growth rather than maintaining an image. People respect those who are willing to learn and improve, as it shows a commitment to progress over ego. Vulnerability doesn't mean oversharing or exposing every aspect of your life. It's about striking a balance between openness and discretion, sharing with intention when it serves to connect, educate, or inspire, shows emotional intelligence. It reflects your ability to gauge the situation and share appropriately, making your vulnerability impactful rather than overwhelming. In leadership, vulnerability is transformative. Leaders who admit their challenges and involve their teams in finding solutions foster a culture of trust and collaboration. This openness shows that leadership is not about being invulnerable, but about being relatable and authentic. By modeling vulnerability, you encourage those around you to take risks, share ideas, and grow without fear of judgment. Vulnerability also builds emotional resilience. When you embrace your struggles rather than hiding from them, you develop the strength to face adversity with grace. Each time you choose openness over avoidance, you build your capacity to navigate challenges. This resilience is deeply respected because it reflects a grounded, unshakable character. The way you handle failure reveals the strength in vulnerability. Acknowledging mistakes and learning from them shows accountability and humility. It demonstrates that you are not defined by setbacks, but by how you respond to them. This attitude inspires others to view failure not as an endpoint, but as a stepping stone toward growth and success. Empathy flourishes in vulnerability. When you share your struggles, you create a bridge of understanding with others who may be facing similar challenges. This empathy fosters deeper connections and demonstrates your ability to care and relate on a meaningful level. Vulnerability doesn't just inspire admiration, it inspires loyalty and trust because it shows that you genuinely value others. Turning vulnerability into strength also involves recognizing your emotional needs. Ignoring your feelings or trying to suppress them can lead to burnout or detachment. By acknowledging and addressing your emotions, you model healthy emotional practices. This self-care inspires others to prioritize their own well-being, creating a ripple effect of resilience and self-awareness. Setting boundaries is an essential part of vulnerable strength. While openness creates connection, boundaries protect your emotional energy and ensure that your vulnerability is respected. Clearly defining what you're willing to share and with whom reinforces your self-respect. This balance shows that vulnerability is not about exposing yourself indiscriminately, but about sharing from a place of strength and intention. Vulnerability fosters innovation and creativity. When you are willing to take risks and share unpolished ideas, you encourage others to do the same. This openness creates an environment where growth and collaboration thrive. Vulnerability in creativity demonstrates confidence because it shows that you value the process of exploration over the fear of failure. Trust is deeply connected to vulnerability. When you are open and honest, you create an atmosphere of transparency that encourages others to trust you. This trust is not built on perfection, but on authenticity. By showing that you're willing to be vulnerable, you invite others to trust not just your words, but your intentions and character. Vulnerability challenges societal expectations. In a world that often equates strength with invulnerability, choosing to be open requires courage. This defiance of norms inspires respect because it shows that you value truth over appearances. By embracing vulnerability, you lead by example, showing others that true strength lies in authenticity. The impact of vulnerability is amplified when it is paired with action. Sharing your struggles is powerful, but showing how you overcome them is transformative. This combination of openness and resilience inspires others to confront their own challenges with determination. Vulnerability becomes a source of empowerment, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. In relationships, vulnerability deepens connections. Whether with friends, family, or colleagues, sharing your authentic self fosters trust and mutual respect. This openness creates a safe space for others to be themselves, strengthening bonds and creating lasting relationships. Vulnerability in relationships shows that you value connection over superficiality, which inspires admiration and loyalty. Vulnerability also transforms how you view yourself. When you embrace your imperfections and share your truths, you free yourself from the fear of judgment. This self-acceptance fosters confidence because it shifts your focus from seeking validation to living authentically. By valuing yourself as you are, you set a standard for how others should treat you. In the end, vulnerability is not about exposing weakness. It's about revealing the strength it takes to be real. It is a tool that transforms fear into courage, challenges into opportunities, and connections into meaningful relationships. When you turn vulnerability into strength, you inspire others not just to respect you, but to embrace their own truths and grow alongside you. This is the power of vulnerability. It doesn't just change how others see you. It changes how you see yourself and the world around you. When vulnerability transforms into strength, it often shines brightest in moments of adversity. Adversity is the ultimate stage where character is tested and respect is truly earned. It strips away the superficial, revealing who we are at our core. These moments, though challenging, offer an unparalleled opportunity to rise above circumstances, showcase resilience, and inspire those around us. Respect is not handed out in times of ease. It's forged in the fire of difficulty, where resolve, grace, and courage are displayed without pretense. Adversity reveals resilience. When challenges arise, the way you respond determines how others perceive your strength. Resilience is not about avoiding setbacks, but about how you bounce back after them. Standing firm in the face of difficulty shows that your character is grounded in principles, not circumstances. People respect resilience because it proves you can endure hardship without being consumed by it. This strength inspires admiration because it offers hope and serves as a model of perseverance. Grace under pressure sets individuals apart during adversity. When tension escalates, many succumb to frustration or despair. However, maintaining composure during trying times communicates inner control. It shows that you're not ruled by chaos, but can navigate it with clarity and purpose. This calmness doesn't diminish the gravity of the situation. Instead, it acts as a stabilizing force, reassuring those around you. Such poise earns respect because it reflects maturity and emotional intelligence. Adversity is also an opportunity to lead by example. Challenges often leave people looking for guidance, and those who step up without hesitation become beacons of strength. Leadership in difficult moments is not about being the loudest or most authoritative voice. It's about demonstrating courage, making thoughtful decisions, and remaining steady when others falter. Respect follows naturally when others see you prioritize the collective good over personal comfort. The way you treat others during adversity speaks volumes about your character. Stress can test patience, but kindness in challenging times leaves a lasting impression. Choosing empathy when it's easier to retreat or lash out demonstrates moral strength. People respect those who uphold their values under pressure, as it proves their principles are not situational but intrinsic. Adversity often strips away control, forcing you to confront the limits of your influence. Accepting this truth and focusing on what you can change reflects wisdom. It prevents wasted energy on external forces and allows you to direct your efforts where they matter most. This pragmatic approach not only demonstrates clarity, but also inspires those who may feel overwhelmed. Respect is earned when you show that challenges can be managed, even if they cannot be entirely overcome. Courage in adversity is magnetic. Taking action in uncertain or intimidating circumstances shows a willingness to embrace risk for the sake of progress. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the determination to move forward despite it. People admire those who are brave enough to act when others hesitate, as it reflects a deep reservoir of inner strength. Vulnerability often intersects with adversity, as challenges expose weaknesses and fears. Embracing this vulnerability with honesty and determination adds depth to your strength. Acknowledging the struggle without surrendering to it shows authenticity. This balance between openness and resolve makes you relatable and inspirational, earning respect because it reflects both humanity and courage. Adversity provides the chance to demonstrate integrity. Temptations to cut corners or compromise values often arise during tough times. Choosing to uphold your principles, even when it's difficult, reinforces trust and respect. Integrity during adversity proves that your moral compass remains steadfast, making you someone others can admire and rely on. Creativity and adaptability shine in adversity. When conventional paths are blocked, those who innovate and adjust inspire others to think beyond limitations. Adaptability demonstrates resourcefulness and a refusal to be defeated by circumstances. People respect those who find solutions where others see only obstacles, because it reflects a proactive and determined mindset. Adversity also tests your patience. Not all challenges resolve quickly, and enduring prolonged difficulty requires fortitude. Patience shows that you understand the value of perseverance and are willing to wait for meaningful outcomes rather than rushing for temporary fixes. This steadfastness earns respect because it reflects a deep sense of commitment and self-discipline. The ability to inspire others during adversity is a rare and invaluable quality. By maintaining hope and encouraging those around you, you become a source of motivation. This inspiration doesn't come from grand gestures, but from small, consistent acts of strength and positivity. People are drawn to those who uplift others, especially when facing their own struggles. Accountability in adversity further solidifies respect. Taking responsibility for your actions, even when outcomes are unfavorable, shows integrity and humility. It demonstrates that you value truth over saving face, and that you are willing to own your role in any situation. Accountability builds trust because it signals reliability and maturity. Adversity often requires collaboration, and those who prioritize teamwork over ego stand out. Supporting others and seeking their input fosters unity and shows that you value collective strength. This humility in leadership creates an environment of respect and cooperation. People admire those who recognize that challenges are best faced together. Learning from adversity transforms setbacks into stepping stones. Reflecting on challenges and using them to grow demonstrates resilience and wisdom. This ability to turn difficulties into opportunities for improvement inspires others to view their own struggles as chances for growth. Respect follows naturally when people see that you use adversity as a catalyst rather than a deterrent. Humor can also be a subtle yet powerful tool during adversity. Finding moments of lightness in challenging times doesn't diminish the seriousness of the situation. It provides relief and perspective. A well-timed laugh shows that you can maintain perspective and optimism even under pressure. This ability to balance seriousness with levity makes you approachable and admirable. Adversity often forces you to prioritize what truly matters. Stripped of distractions, you can focus on your core values and goals. This clarity allows you to make decisions that align with your principles, reinforcing your authenticity. Respect is earned when people see that your actions in difficult times reflect the essence of who you are. Overcoming adversity creates a legacy of strength. The way you navigate challenges becomes a story that others remember and draw inspiration from. This legacy isn't about perfection, but about perseverance, resilience, and the ability to rise above. Respect is not just about the present. It's about the lasting impact of your character and actions. Adversity is a crucible where true respect is forged. It reveals who you are when comfort is stripped away and tests the depth of your values and strength. Rising above challenges with grace, courage, and authenticity not only earns respect in the moment, but leaves an enduring impression on everyone around you. It is in these moments that your character shines brightest, proving that respect is not given. It is earned through resilience and resolve. When rising above adversity defines your character, the next step is living with purpose, aligning your actions with intentions so clear and meaningful that they leave a mark on those around you. Purpose gives depth to your every move, turning ordinary moments into acts that resonate with authenticity and inspire respect. To live with purpose is to demonstrate that your life is not swayed by randomness or fleeting desires, but is guided by values that shape your decisions, relationships, and legacy. Living with purpose begins with clarity of intention. Before any action is taken, there must be an understanding of why it matters. Acting without thought may achieve short-term results, but meaningful actions come from deliberate alignment with your core values. When people see that your actions are driven by intention rather than impulse, they respect your focus and commitment. This clarity sets you apart as someone who is deeply connected to their purpose and not easily distracted by superficial goals. Purposeful living means prioritizing what aligns with your values. It requires saying no to what doesn't serve your mission, even when distractions are tempting. This discipline creates a sense of consistency that others admire. When your choices reflect your principles rather than external pressures, it shows that your life is guided by something greater than immediate gratification. People respect those who stand firm in their priorities because it demonstrates strength and self-awareness. Every purposeful action carries a ripple effect. Small gestures, when done with meaning, can inspire others in unexpected ways. Helping a colleague without seeking recognition, giving time to a cause you believe in, or offering genuine encouragement to someone in need. These acts may seem minor, but hold immense power when they stem from purpose. People notice the intention behind such actions and respect the thoughtfulness they represent. Purpose infuses your work with passion and dedication. Whether in your career, relationships, or personal projects, acting with purpose elevates the quality of what you do. It shows that your efforts are not driven by obligation, but by a genuine desire to contribute meaningfully. This passion is contagious. It inspires others to reflect on their own actions and motivates them to act with greater intention. Respect follows naturally when people see the authenticity behind your endeavors. Purposeful living requires accountability. Taking ownership of your actions, both successes and failures, reflects integrity and maturity. When you act with purpose, you embrace responsibility for the outcomes because you understand that your actions are a reflection of your values. This accountability reinforces trust and earns admiration, as people see that you stand by your commitments without excuses or deflection. Authenticity is central to living with purpose. Purposeful actions resonate when they come from a place of truth, not pretense. When your words and deeds align, people can sense the sincerity behind them. Authenticity eliminates the need for external validation because your actions are grounded in what you believe. This alignment between belief and behavior creates a foundation of trust and respect. Purpose transforms challenges into opportunities for growth. Instead of being deterred by obstacles, those who live with purpose view setbacks as part of the journey. This perspective inspires resilience and encourages others to adopt a similar mindset. When people see that you approach challenges with determination rather than defeat, they respect your ability to stay focused on what truly matters. Living with purpose often involves contributing to something greater than yourself, whether through community involvement, mentoring, or supporting causes you believe in. Purpose expands beyond personal goals. This outward focus shows that your life is not just about individual success, but about leaving a positive impact. People respect those who contribute selflessly because it reflects generosity and vision. Purposeful actions often defy convenience. Choosing what is right over what is easy demonstrates a commitment to your values. This commitment earns respect because it proves that you are willing to endure discomfort or challenge for the sake of your principles. People admire those who stay true to their purpose, even when it requires sacrifice, as it shows unshakable resolve. Consistency in purposeful living builds credibility. When your actions repeatedly reflect your values, people come to trust that your intentions are genuine. This trust deepens over time, solidifying the respect others feel for you. Consistency is not about perfection, but about a steady commitment to living in alignment with your purpose. Purpose gives direction to your energy. Instead of scattering your efforts across countless tasks, living with purpose allows you to focus on what truly matters. This focus amplifies the impact of your actions because it ensures that every step you take is aligned with a greater vision. People respect those who use their energy wisely because it demonstrates clarity and efficiency. In relationships, living with purpose fosters deeper connections. When your interactions are guided by genuine care and intention, they create trust and mutual respect. Purposeful communication, listening actively, speaking thoughtfully, and acting considerately strengthens bonds and shows that you value others. These meaningful connections reflect your ability to align your purpose with your relationships, inspiring admiration. Purpose requires adaptability. Life's uncertainties often challenge your plans, but living with purpose means finding ways to stay aligned with your values despite changing circumstances. This flexibility shows resilience and creativity, earning respect because it demonstrates that your purpose is not rigid but responsive. People admire those who adapt without compromising their integrity. Living with purpose means being intentional about the legacy you leave behind. Your actions today shape how you will be remembered. This awareness motivates you to act in ways that contribute positively to the lives of others. A legacy rooted in purpose resonates far beyond your immediate circle, earning respect from those who witness your impact and from future generations who benefit from it. Humility amplifies the power of purposeful actions. Acting with purpose is not about seeking recognition, but about making a difference. When you focus on the impact rather than the acknowledgement, your actions carry greater weight. People respect humility because it shows that your purpose is genuine and not driven by ego. Purposeful living also requires self-reflection. Taking time to assess whether your actions align with your values ensures that you remain true to your purpose. This introspection prevents complacency and encourages growth. People respect those who continuously evaluate and refine their path because it shows dedication to becoming their best selves. Purpose inspires others to find their own direction. By living with intention, you become a role model for those who may feel lost or uncertain. Your actions serve as a reminder that life is most fulfilling when guided by meaning. This inspiration is a profound form of respect, as it reflects the influence of your purposeful living on the lives of others. In essence, living with purpose transforms every action into a statement of who you are and what you stand for. It is not about grand gestures, but about the consistency and authenticity of your choices. Purposeful living creates a legacy of respect because it reflects a life lived with clarity, intention, and unwavering commitment to what truly matters. When living with purpose becomes your guiding principle, it naturally brings encounters with both praise and blame. These external judgments, while inevitable, have the power to sway emotions, disrupt focus, and challenge self-worth. The strength to remain grounded amidst such fluctuations is a defining trait of true respectability. Practicing detachment from praise and blame reflects an inner balance that commands admiration, not because you ignore feedback, but because you remain steadfast in your values, regardless of external opinions. Detachment from praise begins with understanding its fleeting nature. Compliments and accolades, while gratifying, often arise from circumstances outside your control. Accepting praise gracefully without allowing it to inflate your ego demonstrates maturity. When you base your self-worth on external validation, you give others power over your confidence. Detachment allows you to appreciate praise without depending on it for a sense of identity. This balanced approach earns respect because it shows that your self-assurance is rooted in authenticity, not approval. Blame, on the other hand, can be a more challenging force to detach from. Criticism often stings, even when it is constructive. Detachment does not mean dismissing blame outright, but learning to evaluate it objectively. By separating the emotional impact of criticism from its content, you can discern whether it holds value for your growth. This objectivity demonstrates emotional intelligence as you respond thoughtfully rather than defensively. People respect those who can accept blame when warranted without being overwhelmed by it. Staying grounded amidst praise and blame requires a strong sense of self. When you are clear about your values, intentions, and purpose, external judgments lose their power to define you. This clarity acts as a compass, guiding your actions regardless of external feedback. People admire this self-assuredness because it reflects a deeper confidence than what can be achieved through validation or criticism. Practicing detachment involves embracing impermanence. Both praise and blame are temporary. Neither lasts forever. Detachment from these fluctuations teaches resilience by reminding you that your worth is not tied to the opinions of others. This perspective allows you to maintain emotional balance, showing strength in the face of changing circumstances. People respect this steadiness because it demonstrates an ability to remain composed in both triumph and adversity. Responding to praise with humility further reinforces detachment. Acknowledging compliments without seeking to magnify them shows grace. This humility shifts the focus from your ego to the effort or values that inspired the praise. When others see that you accept recognition without letting it dominate your perspective, they respect your ability to remain level-headed and grounded. Similarly, responding to blame with accountability demonstrates character. Taking responsibility for your actions, when appropriate, shows that you value growth over defensiveness. Accountability, paired with detachment, allows you to address mistakes constructively without internalizing them as a reflection of your entire worth. This balance earns respect because it reflects both humility and resilience. Detachment from external judgments also fosters independence. When you are not swayed by praise or blame, your decisions become freer from the need to please others. This independence allows you to act in alignment with your values rather than in reaction to opinions. People respect those who can maintain this autonomy because it shows strength of character and a commitment to authenticity. Practicing detachment requires mindfulness. Staying present in your actions and intentions helps you avoid being caught up in the highs of praise or the lows of blame. Mindfulness creates space between the judgment and your reaction, allowing you to respond with clarity. This calm presence reflects a sense of control that inspires admiration, as it shows you are not easily shaken by external forces. Self-reflection is a critical tool for detachment. Taking time to evaluate your actions and intentions independently of feedback helps you develop a clear sense of self-awareness. When you know your strengths and areas for improvement, external opinions become less influential. This self-reflection builds inner confidence, reinforcing your ability to stay grounded regardless of what others say. Detachment does not mean disregarding feedback entirely. Constructive criticism and genuine praise offer valuable insights for growth and connection. Practicing detachment means accepting feedback without letting it dictate your emotions or identity. This balance demonstrates wisdom, as it shows that you value input without being controlled by it. People respect this discernment because it reflects a thoughtful and measured approach to self-improvement. Detachment from praise and blame also fosters consistency. When your actions are not driven by the desire for approval or fear of criticism, you can remain true to your principles. This consistency builds trust, as others see that your values guide your behavior regardless of circumstances. People respect this reliability because it reflects integrity and authenticity. Emotional resilience is another benefit of detachment. By not allowing external judgments to dominate your thoughts, you protect your mental well-being. This resilience ensures that you can navigate challenges with clarity and strength, even when facing criticism. People admire this emotional stability because it demonstrates an ability to prioritize inner peace over external noise. Detachment allows you to focus on intrinsic motivation. Instead of seeking validation through praise or avoiding blame, your actions are driven by your own values and goals. This intrinsic focus creates a sense of fulfillment that is independent of others' opinions. People respect this internal alignment because it shows that you are guided by purpose rather than public perception. The way you handle public recognition reflects your detachment. Sharing credit for achievements and acknowledging the contributions of others shows humility and perspective. This approach prevents praise from becoming isolating and turns it into an opportunity for connection. People respect those who use recognition to uplift others rather than solely themselves. Practicing detachment from blame requires forgiveness, both of yourself and others. Holding on to resentment or self-criticism only prolongs the emotional impact of judgment. Forgiveness allows you to release the negativity associated with blame, freeing you to move forward. This ability to let go demonstrates strength and wisdom, earning respect because it reflects emotional maturity. Detachment from praise and blame also deepens your relationships. When others see that you value them for who they are rather than their opinions of you, it builds trust. This trust fosters deeper connections as people feel safe to be authentic around you. Respect grows naturally in such relationships as it is built on mutual understanding and appreciation. By practicing detachment, you create a sense of stability that inspires confidence in others. Your ability to remain calm and focused amidst external judgments reassures those around you as they see that you are not easily swayed. This stability makes you a source of strength and guidance, further solidifying the respect you command. Ultimately, detachment from praise and blame is about reclaiming your power. It allows you to define your worth based on your own values and efforts, rather than external validation. This inner strength commands respect because it shows that your confidence is self-sustained and unshakable. By mastering this balance, you demonstrate a level of maturity and resilience that leaves a lasting impression. When detachment from praise and blame becomes a cornerstone of inner strength, it creates space for an even more profound act. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as weakness or submission, but in reality, it's one of the most powerful tools for emotional strength, leadership, and respect. To forgive is not to excuse wrongdoing or forget the lessons it brings. It's to reclaim your peace and act with clarity and purpose. Forgiveness, when balanced with firm boundaries, transforms conflicts into opportunities for growth and commands deep admiration from those who witness your grace. Forgiveness begins with releasing resentment. Holding on to anger or grudges weighs heavily on the mind, draining energy that could be better directed toward constructive goals. By choosing to let go of resentment, you free yourself from the emotional chains that bind you to the past. This act demonstrates self-control and maturity, showing others that your focus is on moving forward rather than dwelling on negativity. People respect this ability because it reflects inner strength and a commitment to personal growth. At its core, forgiveness is an act of self-respect. When you forgive, you prioritize your emotional well-being over the actions of others. This does not mean condoning bad behavior. It means refusing to allow it to control your emotions or define your future. Forgiveness reinforces the idea that you value yourself too much to be consumed by bitterness. This perspective inspires respect because it shows that you are grounded in self-worth. Forgiveness in leadership is transformative. Leaders who can forgive mistakes while holding others accountable create an environment of trust and learning. This balance between grace and responsibility fosters growth within teams and demonstrates that you value people over perfection. Forgiveness, in this context, becomes a tool for inspiring loyalty and encouraging improvement. People respect leaders who can guide with empathy without compromising standards. Setting boundaries is an essential part of forgiveness. To forgive without boundaries is to invite repeated harm, which undermines the strength of the act. Forgiveness paired with firm boundaries sends a clear message. You're willing to let go of anger, but you will not tolerate disrespect. This balance ensures that forgiveness is an empowering act rather than a passive one. People respect those who can forgive while maintaining their dignity and self-respect. Forgiveness also fosters emotional resilience. By letting go of past grievances, you build the capacity to handle future challenges with grace. Each act of forgiveness strengthens your ability to face adversity without being consumed by it. This resilience commands respect because it reflects an unshakable character that can rise above circumstances. In relationships, forgiveness deepens connections. No bond is immune to misunderstandings or mistakes, but the ability to forgive strengthens trust and mutual respect. Forgiveness allows relationships to evolve rather than stagnate in conflict. When others see that you are willing to forgive while holding on to your principles, it inspires them to value and respect the relationship even more. Forgiveness also enhances communication. Holding on to anger or grudges often creates barriers that prevent open dialogue. By choosing to forgive, you create space for understanding and collaboration. This openness fosters respect because it demonstrates that you prioritize resolution over resentment. Forgiveness in communication signals emotional intelligence and a commitment to finding common ground. One of the most powerful aspects of forgiveness is its ability to inspire. When you forgive someone who has wronged you, it challenges them to reflect on their actions and strive to be better. Forgiveness acts as a mirror, showing others the strength it takes to rise above anger and choose grace. This influence earns respect because it shows that you lead by example, turning personal experiences into opportunities for growth and transformation. Forgiveness also demonstrates courage. It takes strength to confront pain, let go of resentment, and choose a path of healing. Forgiveness requires vulnerability, as it involves acknowledging hurt without letting it define you. This courage inspires respect because it reflects a willingness to face challenges head-on rather than avoiding them. In conflict resolution, forgiveness is a bridge to understanding. By letting go of anger, you create an environment where dialogue and compromise become possible. Forgiveness does not erase accountability. It enhances it by fostering a sense of shared humanity. People respect those who can forgive in conflict because it shows a commitment to solutions rather than prolonged discord. Forgiveness teaches empathy. By understanding the motivations or struggles that may have led to someone's actions, you humanize the situation and find compassion. This empathy does not excuse wrongdoing, but allows you to approach the situation with greater clarity. People admire those who can forgive with empathy because it demonstrates depth of character and a capacity for understanding. Forgiveness as a leadership tool fosters innovation and growth. When team members feel safe to make mistakes without fear of condemnation, they are more likely to take risks and think creatively. Forgiveness creates a culture of psychological safety where learning thrives. This environment earns respect because it reflects a forward-thinking and supportive leadership style. Practicing forgiveness requires mindfulness. Reflecting on your emotions and the impact of the wrongdoing helps you approach forgiveness with intention. Mindfulness ensures that your forgiveness is authentic and not forced. This intentionality inspires respect because it shows that your actions are thoughtful and purposeful. Forgiveness also protects your mental and physical health. Resentment and anger have been linked to stress and its associated health risks. By choosing to forgive, you release these burdens and prioritize your well-being. This act of self-care demonstrates strength and wisdom, earning respect because it shows that you value your peace above holding on to pain. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. Remembering the lessons learned from the experience ensures that forgiveness is a step toward growth, not vulnerability. This balance between letting go and learning demonstrates maturity and resilience. People respect this approach because it reflects a commitment to both healing and self-protection. Forgiveness also reinforces integrity. When you forgive, you align your actions with your values, demonstrating that your principles guide your behavior. This alignment builds trust and respect because it shows that you are consistent in your beliefs, even when challenged by difficult circumstances. The ripple effect of forgiveness extends beyond individual relationships. When you practice forgiveness, you inspire others to do the same, creating a culture of understanding and growth. This influence earns admiration because it reflects the far-reaching power of your emotional strength and leadership. Ultimately, forgiveness is an act of liberation. It frees you from the weight of anger and allows you to focus on what truly matters. Forgiveness transforms pain into a source of strength, turning personal challenges into opportunities for connection and growth. By forgiving with intention and maintaining your boundaries, you inspire respect, deepen relationships, and lead with grace. Forgiveness teaches the power of grace, but it also sets the stage for another vital skill: assertive diplomacy. Navigating the balance between authority and kindness requires both strength and understanding. It's the ability to stand firm in your beliefs while respecting others, to assert yourself with clarity and purpose without resorting to aggression. Mastering assertive diplomacy is not just a tool for maintaining boundaries. It's a cornerstone of leadership, trust, and respect in all areas of life. Assertive diplomacy begins with clarity. Knowing what you stand for and what you aim to achieve allows you to express yourself confidently without ambiguity. This clarity eliminates confusion and sets the tone for effective communication. When others see that you approach conversations with a clear understanding of your position, they are more likely to respect both your authority and your intentions. Clarity in communication is not about rigidity, but about ensuring your message is understood and leaves no room for misinterpretation. Respect is the foundation of assertive diplomacy. When you respect others' perspectives, even if they differ from your own, you create an environment where dialogue can flourish. Respect is not about agreeing with every viewpoint, but about valuing the right of others to have their own opinions. This approach fosters trust and opens the door for constructive exchanges. People admire those who can engage in discussions without dismissing or invalidating opposing views, as it demonstrates emotional intelligence and a willingness to listen. Listening is a crucial component of assertive diplomacy. Being assertive does not mean dominating conversations. It means engaging with others in a way that values their input. Active listening allows you to understand the other person's perspective, making it easier to find common ground. By listening attentively, you show that your assertiveness is not about imposing your will, but about creating a dialogue that respects all parties. This balance earns respect because it shows that you prioritize understanding over control. Confidence in your communication is key to assertive diplomacy. Speaking with conviction, without hesitation or apology for your stance, conveys strength. Confidence does not mean arrogance. It means trusting your values and being willing to stand by them. People respect those who can articulate their beliefs with assurance because it shows they have thought deeply about their positions and are not easily swayed by external pressures. Diplomacy also requires patience. Not every conversation will lead to immediate agreement or resolution, but maintaining composure and staying committed to respectful dialogue demonstrates maturity. Patience allows you to navigate difficult discussions without escalating tension. This steadiness earns respect because it shows that you are focused on long-term solutions rather than short-term victories. Assertive diplomacy relies on the ability to set boundaries effectively. Boundaries are not about shutting others out, but about defining what is acceptable and what is not. Clearly expressing your limits shows self-respect and reinforces your commitment to mutual understanding. Boundaries, when communicated assertively, protect your values while fostering respect from others. People admire those who can assert their needs without compromising kindness or compassion. Using concise and intentional language is another hallmark of assertive diplomacy. Overloading conversations with unnecessary details or emotional outbursts can dilute your message. Choosing your words carefully ensures that your points are clear and impactful. This precision reflects thoughtfulness and self-control, qualities that inspire confidence and respect in your ability to lead and communicate effectively. Body language plays a significant role in assertive diplomacy. Maintaining steady eye contact, an open posture, and calm gestures reinforces your verbal message. Nonverbal cues convey confidence and authority without the need for excessive words. When your body language aligns with your words, it strengthens your credibility and shows that your assertiveness is genuine and grounded. Diplomacy also involves adapting your approach to the situation and audience. Understanding the dynamics of the conversation, whether it requires firmness or a softer tone, demonstrates flexibility. This adaptability does not compromise your values. It enhances your ability to communicate effectively. People respect those who can tailor their approach without losing their authenticity, as it shows awareness and skill in navigating diverse interactions. Empathy is a powerful tool in assertive diplomacy. By recognizing and validating others' emotions, you create a sense of connection even in disagreements. Empathy does not mean conceding your position. It means showing that you care about the person, even if you don't align with their viewpoint. This emotional intelligence fosters trust and respect, as it shows that your assertiveness is tempered with humanity. Assertive diplomacy thrives on collaboration. Rather than seeking to dominate or dictate, focus on finding solutions that benefit all parties. Collaborative discussions demonstrate that you value others' contributions and are willing to work together to achieve shared goals. This cooperative spirit earns respect because it reflects a commitment to harmony and mutual progress. Accountability strengthens your assertiveness. Taking responsibility for your words and actions shows integrity. When you hold yourself accountable, it reinforces trust and demonstrates that your assertiveness is not about ego, but about principle. People respect those who are willing to admit when they are wrong and take steps to correct their course. Staying calm under pressure is another critical aspect of assertive diplomacy. Heated discussions can provoke strong emotions, but maintaining composure ensures that your message remains clear and impactful. This calmness reflects self-discipline and control, qualities that inspire confidence in your leadership. People admire those who can remain steady even in challenging situations because it shows resilience and focus. Assertive diplomacy involves balancing firmness with kindness. Standing your ground does not require harshness or aggression. It requires a clear and respectful articulation of your position. This balance creates an atmosphere where disagreements can be addressed constructively without creating animosity. People respect those who can assert themselves without alienating others because it reflects a harmonious blend of strength and empathy. Clarity of purpose enhances your assertiveness. When your actions and words align with a clear intention, they carry greater weight. This alignment ensures that your assertiveness is seen as purposeful rather than reactive. People respect those who act with intention because it shows that their communication is guided by principle rather than impulse. Assertive diplomacy also involves knowing when to step back, recognizing when a conversation has reached its productive limit, and disengaging gracefully prevents unnecessary conflict. This discernment shows that your assertiveness is not about winning every battle, but about preserving relationships and focusing on what truly matters. People admire this perspective because it reflects wisdom and self-control. Ultimately, assertive diplomacy is about striking the perfect balance between standing firm and staying open. It is about using your voice to express your values while listening with genuine curiosity. This balance fosters trust, builds respect, and creates relationships rooted in mutual understanding and admiration. Assertive diplomacy transforms communication into a tool for leadership and connection, showing that authority and kindness can coexist in harmony. When assertive diplomacy becomes second nature, it creates a foundation for another key to respect: consistency. In a world where words often outpace actions, consistency stands as a quiet yet powerful force that commands admiration. It is not the grand gestures, but the steady alignment of actions with values over time that builds trust, credibility, and respect. Consistency reveals who you are at your core, not just in moments of intensity, but in the daily patterns that shape your relationships, decisions, and legacy. Consistency begins with reliability. When your actions consistently align with your words, you demonstrate dependability. People come to trust that you will follow through on commitments, big or small. This reliability fosters confidence in your character because it shows that you honor your promises. Respect is not earned through occasional efforts, but through the ongoing demonstration of accountability. Reliability sends the message that others can count on you, creating a strong foundation for lasting respect. The power of consistency lies in its subtlety. Unlike dramatic acts that capture attention momentarily, consistent behavior builds respect gradually, leaving a deeper and more enduring impact. Consistency communicates steadiness and stability, qualities that inspire trust. When people see that you are unwavering in your principles and actions, they view you as someone with integrity and purpose. This quiet strength commands respect, because it shows that your values are not subject to fluctuation. Consistency also requires discipline. It's easy to act in alignment with your values when circumstances are favorable, but maintaining this alignment during challenges or temptations reflects true strength. Discipline ensures that your actions are not reactive, but intentional. This steadiness inspires admiration because it proves that you are in control of your choices, even when external factors might push you toward compromise. Consistency in small actions is as important as in major decisions. The way you treat people daily, whether with kindness, respect, or fairness, speaks volumes about your character. Small, consistent gestures of thoughtfulness or integrity reinforce your values over time, leaving an indelible impression on those around you. Respect is often built through these everyday interactions, which collectively demonstrate who you are. Aligning your actions with your values requires self-awareness. Understanding what you stand for ensures that your behavior reflects your principles, not fleeting emotions or external pressures. This alignment fosters authenticity, as it shows that your actions are a true expression of your beliefs. People respect those who act with purpose and clarity, as it reflects a grounded and intentional approach to life. Consistency also strengthens relationships. When people know what to expect from you, it creates a sense of security and trust. Inconsistent behavior breeds uncertainty, eroding respect over time. By showing up as the same person in different contexts, you demonstrate that your values guide you regardless of circumstances. This predictability builds respect because it shows that you are not easily swayed by external influences. The invisible power of consistency extends to personal growth. Committing to consistent self-improvement shows dedication to becoming your best self. Whether through daily habits, lifelong learning, or regular reflection. This commitment reinforces respect because it demonstrates a refusal to stagnate. People admire those who continuously strive for progress, as it shows a resilience and determination that inspire others to do the same. Consistency also fosters credibility. When your actions consistently back up your words, your credibility grows. This alignment ensures that others take you seriously and view you as someone who means what they say. Credibility is a cornerstone of respect because it reflects trustworthiness and integrity. People respect those whose words carry weight, knowing that they are rooted in consistent action. The ability to remain consistent during adversity is particularly impactful. Challenges often test the strength of your principles, and staying true to your values during tough times demonstrates resilience. This steadfastness earns admiration because it shows that your character is not defined by convenience, but by conviction. People respect those who maintain consistency even when it requires sacrifice. Consistency also requires adaptability. While your values remain steady, your approach may need to evolve with changing circumstances. Adaptability within the framework of consistency shows that you are flexible without compromising your principles. This balance demonstrates wisdom, as it reflects an ability to respond thoughtfully to change while staying true to your core. People respect this adaptability because it shows that your consistency is not rigid but thoughtful. Consistency in leadership inspires trust and loyalty. Leaders who consistently treat their teams with fairness, transparency, and respect create an environment of security and collaboration. Team members know that their leaders' values guide their decisions, fostering trust. This consistency sets a standard for the entire group, encouraging others to act with integrity. Respect grows naturally in such environments because consistency reinforces the leader's credibility. Consistency also enhances decision-making. When your choices are guided by a clear and consistent set of values, it eliminates unnecessary doubt or second-guessing. This clarity allows you to make decisions with confidence, even in complex situations. People respect those who can navigate challenges with decisiveness because it shows that they are guided by principle rather than impulse. In communication, consistency builds trust. Whether in your tone, language, or intentions, Consistent communication ensures that your message is clear and reliable. Inconsistencies in communication can create confusion or mistrust, while consistent behavior reassures others of your sincerity. People respect those who communicate with clarity and purpose, as it reflects a genuine commitment to understanding and connection. Consistency also fosters respect by setting a positive example. When others see you consistently act with integrity, kindness, or determination, it inspires them to emulate those qualities. Leading by example through consistent actions creates a ripple effect, encouraging others to align their behavior with their values. This influence earns admiration because it shows that your consistency is not just personal, but transformative for those around you. The invisible power of consistency extends to your reputation. Over time, consistent behavior builds a legacy of trust and respect that precedes you. People come to associate your name with reliability, integrity, and purpose. This reputation is not built overnight, but through the cumulative effect of consistent actions. Respect rooted in consistency is enduring because it is based on a proven track record rather than fleeting impressions. Consistency also reflects emotional intelligence. By maintaining composure and aligning your behavior with your values, you demonstrate self-control and awareness. This emotional stability inspires confidence in others, as it shows that you are not easily swayed by external pressures or internal turmoil. People respect those who can maintain consistency even in emotionally charged situations because it reflects strength and focus. Ultimately, the power of consistency lies in its ability to create trust. When your actions align with your values every day, you prove that your character is genuine and dependable. This trust forms the foundation of respect, as it shows that you are someone others can rely on in all circumstances. Consistency, though quiet and often unnoticed, is one of the most powerful forces in earning and maintaining respect. Through disciplined effort and alignment with your values, you build a legacy that speaks louder than any words could. Respect is not granted by chance or demanded by force. It is earned through the consistent alignment of your actions with your values. From mastering the art of poised silence to embracing the power of forgiveness, from living with purpose to demonstrating unwavering consistency, each of these Stoic principles provides a pathway to command respect authentically. Respect isn't about dominating others. It's about embodying strength, kindness, and integrity in every interaction. When you stay true to your principles, even in adversity, you inspire not just respect, but admiration and trust that leave a lasting impact. Now it's your turn. What Stoic principle resonates most with you? How have you applied it, or which one are you excited to try? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights might just inspire someone else on their journey to living a life of respect and purpose. And if this journey has sparked something within you, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you won't miss out on more transformative insights. Together, we'll keep growing, learning, and mastering the art of living with wisdom and grace. Let's keep the conversation going.